Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventures in New Eden, Episode 2. I'm Mythical Hawk, and I'm joined by a whole crew of interesting and extravagant people here to play some Dungeons and Dragons in a place known as New Eden, based on a map which I made of a fantasy version of New Eden. But that is beside the point. Let me introduce everyone. So we have Disc Reader, Kyle up the top, that's Sir Tristan, and he sits alongside Chocolate Rain. You may know her now as Snow the Bard. Down the bottom, we have the mysterious Geeky Decorum, the man formerly known as Rathon Domitras from EVE Online, playing Siege the Rogue. In the middle at the bottom, there is Starmiz, Mizir, who is playing Harzana. And then finally, but of course not least, we have fellow man Dwagon Omer playing Tazros, the Dwarven Barbarian. How are you guys doing today?
Good, how are you?
Doing well, how are you?
Good. Not bad. I just need to turn my Discord off of push to talk, because I forgot to do it before we started. There we go. So now you should hear me and I don't have to use hands. Perfect. So let's recap what happened last time. So we started with two separate adventuring parties. There was free breakfast in the Broken Drum. So Harzana and Sir Tristan, who slept outside, went to the Broken Drum to get some of that free breakfast. And it was very good. They enjoyed it and they met a bunch of new people. From there, some people went out and they did some shopping. And they ran into an old man who was lost. He'd lost his ring, and the team managed to get that ring back for him. It was very sweet. The old man's son then asked if they could deliver the old man back to his house, where his brother would be looking after him, which they did. They decided to do so. Snow wasn't interested in helping an old man and decided to just sit up and play and perform, and spent the day busking. Meanwhile, the old man was delivered back to his other son, who turned out to be a were-rat, and unable to control himself, transformed, and was set upon by the team. The old man, also cursed by the same affliction, transformed, and although Siege was attempting to put them down without killing them, the old man did not make it. And then had his hand chopped off by Tazros after he stoved his chest in as well, just to make sure he was, quote, double dead. From there, they went and picked up Snow, and they went to the festival, the Harvest Festival, which was on in the town of Lashkai, where they are right now. And they discovered that there was a man who was a showman, really, who was exhibiting what appeared to be one of the Triglav demons that they'd encountered throughout the previous sessions. The whole team were very displeased by this. They thought this was a very bad idea, but of course he was making absolute bank, so he wasn't interested in stopping. Some of the team decided to go in, and Sir Tristan unfortunately was a little bit afraid and had to rush back out. Siege, meanwhile, managed to negotiate 3 free health potions, giving up just 1 minute of his time. After that, they spoke to the man and found out that he had got the demon from a man called Jorg Dumont, at which point they decided that, doesn't matter that it's now late at night, let's go and see Jorg Dumont in his house. They weren't let in by the guards, but that didn't stop some shenanigans, as Snow managed to get boosted over the fence by Siege, who then failed getting over the fence himself. After some attempts to get in and distract people, which all went horribly wrong, Snow and Harzana, now transformed into a cat, managed to sneak into the basement and up into the main house, at which point they were discovered. Snow was thrown out rather unceremoniously, landing in a pile of dwarven poop left by Tazros as an attempted distraction at the front door. Harzana the cat managed to evade guards and run upstairs, at which point she saw a room with what the guard addressed as Jorg Dumont, writing on a piece of paper with a satchel in front of him, who looked a bit confused why this cat ran into the room, followed by a guard. The guard then also threw Harzana out on the street as well. The team then retired back to the Broken Drum. Tazros was still pretty drunk from his time at the carnival and passed out on a couch. And that is where we are. That is what happened last week. It was an exciting couple of hours, and we are ready to go again. So, right now, everyone is asleep. It is the middle of the night. They're all attempting to have a long rest. And Sir Tristan, you are in a ethereal landscape. There's trees with the sound of wind gently rustling them, and there's long grass blowing gently in the wind. Above you is loads of stars. You've never seen this amount of stars before. It's absolutely beautiful. And you're there, you're wearing your finest knight's court splendor, so you don't have your armor on, you're just wearing your nice clothes, and you look fantastic. And ahead of you is a figure who has got flowing red hair and light golden skin, and she is got like light cotton kind of like flowing robes on her, and she smiles and she holds her hand out towards you, and in a very gentle, almost musical voice, she says to you, "Come to me, my love, be with me."
I mean, it's a yes from me.
Behind her, there is a large body of water, and in the center, you can see an ethereal silver sword, sort of almost in the waves. It's bigger than it should be for an actual sword, but it's sort of in the waves of this medium-sized body of water. And she holds her hand out to you.
So I'm gonna kind of progress forwards. I'm gonna take her hand, but kind of almost try and lead her towards this sword. Like, I want the backup as we investigate, as it were, as I
Yeah.
investigate.
So she's quite content to do so, and she walks alongside you along the shores of this, what you can see is a lake. And she radiates this feeling of contentness and being and properness and comfort to you. And she doesn't say anything, she just kind of like walks beside you like a companion that you've known for many years. Your steps kind of work together easily.
Is she anyone I particularly recognise, or is she kind of a...
So, based on your devout following, you think that this is a vision of someone that you would know as Morwell, and your people would refer to as the Lady of the Lake.
Excellent. The patron goddess of my people. The ultimate in safety, security, and prosperity for us. This is ideal, and the sword is hers. So we should, acquire the sword to give back to her.
So she stops and she gazes out over the lake, and she turns to you after sort of like 10-15 seconds of this, and she smiles at you, and you feel the kind of the warmth go through you, and she reaches out and she just gently puts her hand on your chest where your heart is, and you feel a warmth from her fingertips on your, like, as if it's on your skin, even though you're wearing like a jerkin, like a leather jerkin, and some nice sort of like shirt type stuff underneath, and you feel this warmth, and then you feel the cold underneath it as well. And she says to you, "Your heart may be cold, Sir Tristan, but your spirit is pure. The stone within you will prevent you from being seduced when you need it most." And she gestures at the sword in the lake, and she says, "This is Caliburn. You know this sword. What you do not know is it is one of the infernal devices. You must recover it. With your heart of stone, you will be able to resist the weapon's seductions. Seek out the inverted cathedral, Sir Tristan, for they are lost all of the infernal devices within the armory of that infernal place. A sickness is spreading in New Eden once again. You will be my champion. And she takes her hand off your chest and takes a step back with her hand sort of like fingers pursed.
I will kneel to her. I will kind of re-swear my oaths of fealty. Whatever the goddess requires, I will do. I will act as her champion now until my mission is complete.
Rise, Sir Tristan. And then she looks a little bit like off to the side, sort of over your shoulder, and then says, "You must go. You are needed." And the vision in front of you disappears, and you are lying on a couch in an inn in Lashkai, and you can see the ceiling in front of you, and you hear from somewhere down below the sound of a startled scream, which is cut off sharply. Next to you is Harzana, also asleep on a couch. Your squire Elaine is sitting, resting against the wall, asleep, and there's a dwarf on the floor. He's kind of half on the rug, but mostly on the wood.
I'll snatch up my sword. I'll start down the stairs towards the noise. I'll leave the others as they are for now, but obviously they're within shouting distance. If
Okay. So are you wearing your armor?
I'll have slept in the under parts of it, so no plate, but probably still have the boots on and the gauntlets.
Mm-hmm. And how are you proceeding down the stairs? Are you charging down the stairs? Are you going quietly? Like, what? How are you doing this?
Quickly.
Okay. So you thud down the stairs, and you round the corner, and you see into the common room, the main area of the Broken Drum on the first floor, and you just see a pair of legs sticking out, like from blocked from your viewpoint by the wall from the stairs, and some blood.
The legs look like they're attached to anything.
You just see the end of the legs.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going straight to the legs. I want to see if there's still a person.
Okay, so you head to the legs, and as you round the corner, you see that there is indeed a person attached to it, but that person is got like a vicious set of claw marks across them, and like their face is being kind of ripped, but you can see part of their jawbone, like where the face is like being like ripped, and you can see a white pale figure perched on a table across in the center of the room, staring at you. And 1 second. So you've just come down the stairs here.
Yep.
And perched on this table is this creature. And can Sir Tristan roll initiative, please?
Can you unpause it, mate?
Unpaused.
Yeah, 10's better than normal. It's better than my average.
So, the creature howls silently towards you. Can you make a wisdom saving throw with advantage? You feel a familiar fear in you as you're scared of this. And as that happens, you hear the sound of skittering to your right, and another appears, and from the corner of the room to the south of you, a third. Now it is your go.
So I'm going to charge this first one.
So you're afraid of it, you can't approach it.
Oh, actually, yeah, I'm going to charge the second one, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
The one I can approach. And I'm going to swing for that. Which actually nicely takes me further away from the one that I'm not allowed to.
Nice. That's
My
a
God,
hit.
hit
That
something.
is a hit. That's a solid hit on it. So your sword cleaves into the side of this thing, and it also, like, its blood doesn't spurt or anything like that, and it feels like cutting through a dead tree stump. You know, there's not a huge amount of resistance on this thing. Like, the flesh is rotten, the bones aren't as strong as a living, or as you would expect from a creature such as this, and it howls soundlessly. Can everybody else who is asleep upstairs all roll perception with disadvantage, please?
So, Erika, I got out of character question. It's just about elves and sleep, since according to the official law, elves have this
So
meditation and
you would
stuff.
have you would have probably heard the scream as well, actually, because you were an elf and you were meditating. You wouldn't have been asleep, and then you would have. Or even if you hadn't heard it, you would have probably seen Sir Tristan going downstairs. So what would Hardana have done, seeing Sir Tristan grab his sword and go downstairs?
I'll probably just wait a bit to see if something, to listen, and maybe if something is sounding bad, then I'll start poking the other.
So you would have heard the sound of, like, tut, 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 the boots going downstairs, and then probably some sort of, like, scared gurgle from Sir Tristan, followed by the sounds of boots running across a floor, and the sound of something hitting something wet and fleshy. You would have heard that.
Sorry to just interrupt. Can you make sure all the characters are in the combat scene, mate? Can't currently roll initiative.
You don't have to. Just roll a
I'm
perception,
going to wait
please.
to roll initiative.
Oh, perception,
Roll
sorry.
perception.
Nah. Ignore me.
But I'll start waking up the rest of the group.
Okay, so
Disadvantage.
Siege.
Maybe I disadvantage, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Does not hear anything. Neither does Snow, and neither does Tazra. So they are all still asleep for this particular round. The one at the bottom will move to here. You can see him, right?
I can.
Okay, he will move to there. And Harzana, can you roll initiative for me, since you're taking actions, so I can pop it in? I will just pop your token onto this thing, even though you're upstairs. So just roll initiative for me. Nice. Okay, so the one that scared you initially, Sir Tristan, is going to run upstairs, or into the stairway here, where you can no longer see him. And this one at the other side of the room is going to... Oops, that was the wrong one I moved. That one ran to there. That one runs to here. Yeah, and then Harzana, you hear some skittering in the stairway. And so you spend this turn to go around and wake everybody up.
Yeah, first I'm going to grab the Tasras by the shoulders and shake him really hard, because he's still probably a bit drunk.
So you can do so, and you in this one turn, you can quickly run in, like bash the doors and so on, and everyone will hear it, and everyone can wake up. So everyone can roll initiative just to get into the turn orders. But those of you who are being woken up this round, it's functioning as a surprise round, so you don't hear, so you don't go this round.
Okay, but do we need to be in the scene then?
You might need to be able to do it. Actually, it's a very good point. Well presented. Let me just drag you into this scene. Excellent. So that's Hosanna's turn. Sir Tristan.
I guess, yeah. Just go for the one next to me.
Go for it. Very nice. Beats it in this case.
Hell yeah.
So you swing your sword again. You're standing there. You don't have your armor on. You've just run down. You've seen all this going on. There's a dead body mauled at the base of the stairs, and you have just charged this bestial creature with its silent mouth and its jaw with these vicious-looking teeth directly in front of you. And you swing at it for the second time, and you manage to catch it on the other side. So now it's got two gaping wounds. You can see like bones sticking out, and it continues to howl silently at you. Snow is being woken up. Now the one in front of you is going to slash at you, Sir Tristan. So it doesn't 17 to hit. What's your AC without your armor right now?
Without my armor, that hits me significantly. I'm also not shielded either, so I actually should be rolling d10s for my damage instead, but I forgot. So yeah, that hits.
Okay, so that the claws rake across your nice undershirt, and they rip it open, and they do 7 slashing damage to you.
The worst part is I don't even have my damage reduction either. I left my damage reduction on the sofa.
And Siege is still asleep. So now, the one on the stairs is going to delay its action. Tazros, you've just been shaken awake by Harzana. You're on the floor.
Okay. Tazos just slowly sets awake and looks at Tazara and like, what do you want?
There's trouble. Probably something for
That
you.
was my middle name. Where's trouble?
Downstairs. Quick.
Okay, let's go. And I will just get up, and then since standing up, because I was laying down, probably has speedment, and then how far can I go? Like, can I go down the stairs?
Yeah, you can make it to basically the first turnaround landing on the stairs, which is great because that happens to be where one of those things is like lurking in the shadows. So if you're running up running to that, you would get to there, right in front of it.
I will.
Now, as you run into its reach, it's going to take its prepared action, and it is going to howl at you soundlessly. So can you do a wisdom save, please?
A wisdom save?
Hope he's wiser than I am.
So this thing, as you charge down the stairs, you see this this strange, pale, human-like but not human creature, kind of like crouched on all fours, like with its like extra long, gangly limbs, and it howls at you, making no sound, and you are frightened, and you skid to a halt in front of it. So you can get right up to it. But you can make your attacks and so on, but because you're frightened, you'll have disadvantage on them.
Okay, well that's a nope, and that's the end of my turn.
You can still attack if you want. You've not used that attack action or anything.
That is, I would just swing with my great axe.
Okay, go for it with disadvantage.
It's gonna be amazing.
That hits. So despite the fear in your eyes and probably a bit of a hangover, like in your head, your dwarven head, like, oh god, like I thought dwarven ale didn't give hangovers. It must have been that other stuff I drank that wasn't dwarven. And you have your big great axe and you just you swing down using the leverage of the stairs and your short stature to be able to just smash this thing, and you sink your axe, the axe that cleaved the hand off an old man just yesterday, into this bestial creature. Nice.
Nice.
The one that is in the center of the room is going to run up to Sir Tristan and going to take a swipe at Sir Tristan. The swipe comes and it just sort of, you've maybe got your scabbard on your back or something like that from your sword, and it kind of bounces off, like ricochets. Its claws don't pierce the unarmored back that you have, and that is its turn. Harzana.
I follow after Tasras,
Mm-hmm.
and while I'm running, I draw pick up my scimitar.
Okay, so Tazros is in this stairwell with this thing in front of him. Now, rules as written, you can't move through an enemy space, but you can move through an ally space. However, you can't end your turn in ally space. So if you wanted to get up to it and hit it, you would have to then move back, just so you know.
Well, I'll gladly let the Tasras stand in the front as I channel the power of the stars and attempt to blast the thing with the starlight. I cast a guiding bolt.
Go for it. So your guiding bolt, perhaps you've got like, not sleep because you're an elf and elves don't sleep, but perhaps you've got like still some remnants of your meditation. You're a little bit hazy, and you're like, ugh, and you miss with your guiding bolt. It sails above Tazros and just kind of like hits the wall and fizzles out, doing no damage to the wall as it does so. Sir Tristan.
Okay, so I will start by second winding.
Mm-hmm.
So back up to 17. I will action surge,
Nice.
and I will attack the one that I have been attacking already.
So that, I believe, is what we call in business a critical hit. So with that hit, your sword comes out, and this sword that is struck twice already against this thing, leaving bits of gore and an awful kind of hang out of this. You swing it once again, and the strike is true into the sword wound that you made in the first swing, and you feel this slight resistance as you cut straight through the spinal cord of this thing in front of you on the table, and the top half kind of like falls back away from the bottom half as you slice this beast in twain right in front of you.
And for my other action, I'm going to hit the other one. So turning nicely and whack. Oh. Didn't like that. Oh, that's right, that one's a miss.
Yeah, so with the spin around, maybe there's some food left on the ground that hasn't been cleaned up overnight, and you off balance a little bit as you swing around. And this thing, the first one was on the table, so you were swinging high, and you swung around in one quick move to try and get the second one as well with the continuation of your strike. But of course, it's a bit smaller and crouched down, so you swing just above its head, missing it. Snow, you've just been heard a bang 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 on your door.
Alright, Snow jumps out of bed. Guys, what's going on? Who's making all that noise? And she runs out and sees everyone running down the stairs, so she follows.
Okay, so you can get from where your room is, you can get to the top of the stairs in one movement.
Okay, can I see everyone down the stairs?
You see a tall elf in front of you, and then you can see the head of Tazros a little bit further ahead, but it's really hard to tell what's going on. There's so many people squeezed into essentially a small stairwell at this point.
Okay, Can I see the bad demon creature?
From where you are, you cannot.
Heck. Do Tazros or Harzana look damaged at all?
You can't really tell from where you are what the condition of Tazros is. Harzana is just standing there with her arms in some sort of like power position, and like still some glowing stuff around her fingers. You actually don't really know what's going on.
I asked, team, what's happening over here?
Demons. The white ones. They attacked in.
Oh no! Who would have guessed? I can healing word someone. Does anyone need help?
And since the turn is 6 seconds, that's enough talking. You can't get any more words out.
Dang it! Okay.
What? You've got one action. What would you like to do with your action?
I want to prepare. So I'll prepare I'll prepare charm person. So if I see one of the demons in my sight, like it pops into my viewer or it comes up behind me, I want to initiate a charm on it.
Okay. Right, that is Snow. Siege, you've heard this banging and shouting, and you're just come out of your hammock in sort of the pauper's room, as it were. And similar to Snow, it would take you about one movement to get to roughly the top of the stairs, where there's now a collection of your comrades.
Okay, so hearing the commotion downstairs and realizing it's probably not a bar fight this early in the morning, I'm going to rush as far as I can from my room to the stairs, and then I'm going to use cunning action to do a bonus action and dash as far as I can into the bar. Is that feasible?
No. So at the top of the stairs, you see all the. If you imagine the top floor, at the top of the stairs is a collection of your comrades. You can move through their spaces, but on the stairs itself, there is one of these creatures blocking the way. You could not move through its space.
Okay.
You could get on top of Tazros, but bearing in mind, you couldn't end your turn there. You would have to back away.
Okay, so is it feasible then if I use my cunning action to rush over, stand on Tazros' shoulders, fire an arrow, and then use my cunning action to back off? Is that feasible?
You can't use two cunning actions, but you could still back off.
I can't use two. Have I got enough movement to get to where Tazros is from my room or not?
Not to where Tazros is. You could get if you use your cunning action, you would have enough to dash to be able to get there. You could then make your bow attack. If you don't have to back up, but you wouldn't be able to use cunning action for it, so there would be an opportunity attack.
I don't really fancy that, to be honest. So I'm going to move up as close as I can, and then use where is it gone? Vicious Mockery.
Okay, so you can get close enough with your dash, using your cunning action, to sort of see down the staircase, and you can see in front of Tazros this thing, and you can make your Vicious Mockery.
Go back to hell, demon spawn! And try it with the Vicious Mockery. Hey!
So it must make a Wisdom save. So it passes its save.
God damn it.
Wow, that's what passing a DC 12 Wisdom check looks like.
It rolled a 12, to be fair, and meets it.
Ah.
But and it's plus 0, so it happened to just roll all right. So you do your go back to hell stuff, and everyone around you is very like, well, what the hell? I guess he knows what he's talking about. But your words seem to have no effect on this creature. You know, you can't even really see like clear ears. Maybe it can't hear. You don't really know. The one on the stairs is going to take a swipe at you, Tazros, as you're right in front of it, blocking its way. What's your AC?
AC is 15.
So it's your tough dwarven chest is able to repel the claws of this beast in front of you as it swipes at you, unable to tear open your skin like it does to so many others.
Ha.
Tazros, it's your turn.
I'm just gonna swing again on the beast in front of me.
That is definitely a hit.
So yeah, I crack my great axe and just try to chunk it in the head of the beast in front of me.
Yeah, so your great axe again. You've sort of like because it's such a small confined space. You've got slightly shorter limbs and you can swing your great axe in this confined area. But you're just sort of like whack-a-mole, like duh, duh, duh. You can't really swing it any other way because you're kind of on the stairs above it, like just swinging down at it. And it's sort of like almost not cowering, but it's like fuck, bad idea maybe. And yeah, you just cleave in through the shoulder. You hear the bones crunching in its collarbone, and again it looks like it's sort of screaming, but no sound comes from the maw in front of it.
Nice.
So Tristan, the one behind you that's still alive is going to
In front of me now.
well, in front of you now, yes, that's right, is going to howl at you soundlessly. Can you make a wisdom saving throw, please, with advantage?
Come on, now is the time.
So you're like, I've had enough of these fucking demons, man. And this one, it doesn't phase you. You've just cleaved one of them in half, literally into two pieces. Why would you be afraid of this? It's still going to try and swing at you with its claws. Which do hit and they just rip across. Your shirt is in tatters. It's got one set of claws going one way and another set going the other way, and this time for 6 slashing damage. Harzana.
Well, there's a lot of noise coming from downstairs, so I think it's rather urgent to get rid of this gatekeeper on the stairs, so I will attempt another guiding bolt at it.
Go for it. Very nice. So this time, like, there's so much chaos going on. You sort of like fucking out the way, you little cat person. Oh jeez, siege, move. You're trying to like get in so you can fire this bolt down over Tazroz's slightly dumpy head, and you just slam this bolt into this thing, and you see its flesh like singe and crumble as the thing just gets blasted against the back wall, and it drops to the ground, unmoving.
And then I'll slide past Tashras and go downstairs.
Just did. Yes, there on. Yep. So you can do so, and with your movement, you could get to the bottom of the stairs here and still have probably another 5 feet worth of movement.
I'll move here.
Okay. And anything else from you?
No.
Okay. Sir Tristan, there's still this thing in front of you. You are scared of it. No, you're not scared of it. You've passed this one. I'm just used to saying you're scared of it. It's in front of you. It's just clawed you. You're bleeding from it on your chest. What do you do?
Who can play this ridiculous clawing game?
Oof. It's a big oof. You swing around, like your sword is glistening with the blood of these things. Perhaps maybe without your armor, you're unencumbered. You're able to swing freely. You're striking strike after strike after strike, and you hit a solid hit into this thing. And again, no sound comes from it. It's really weird. It's like it looks like you can almost see like the vocal cords twitching as if something would be emitting noise, but nothing comes from it. It's completely silent. Anything else from you?
No, I'm good. I'm winning.
Snow.
All right, can I make?
Your prepared action didn't trigger.
All right. I will mark that off. Is there space for me to move down the stairs now?
Yeah. Now you can move down the stairs.
All right. I'm assuming I'm gonna. Oh my god. All right. So I would be like right here. I'll go over. Boundary is not nice with these wall mechanics. So where's the other one? I see the dead one right here.
So the dead one is this one, which I've just pinged behind Sir Tristan, and there's one in front of it, which you're pinging,
Oh.
which is alive.
Oops, I just walked right up to it. All right. Fair enough. I'm going to, I'll cast Vicious Mockery on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming it doesn't have that yet. I'm gonna call it a pale ass hoe, as an insult.
So it passes its wisdom save.
Fuck. Okay. So that was my action. Okay, that'll be all then. So I think my
Okay.
bonus actions don't work.
Siege.
Okay, so what I'm looking to do, and you'll be able to tell me if I can do this, so I can't see effectively, is move down the stairs and move up to flank from about here, from what I can see on the stream. Is
So
that
you
feasible?
would run down to the bottom of the stairs, and you would now
Yeah.
you can see. So
Okay.
that probably took 5, 10, 15, 20. That was 25 of your movement to there.
Okay, so if I if I go to this spot here that I've just pinged, is that in range to attack it or not?
Yes, that's in range to attack it. If you wanted to move.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to take out my rapier and try and cut its head off.
Nice.
So I'm going to roll for that.
Nice. So with a 14, you can definitely hit that one. So
Yes.
you come running down the stairs. You take a look around and you see this thing like with Snow next to it, like pale ass ho, and Sir Tristan with his sword dripping with blood and his own blood flowing freely from his chest, and you swing your rapier at it, and because you're running up, you sort of stab forward as you approach it, and you just impale it straight through like the center of its chest, and your sword, you see the tip of your sword come out behind its head, like up onto it. You almost lift it off its feet, and it is dead. Very nice hit.
And I'll do like an anime style flourish where I just like drop to one knee as it like collapses behind me.
Nice. So it is Tazros. It is your turn.
I run down because I saw he's running down, so I jump after him. And I don't see anything else besides the party, right? Except for the like of dead bodies. But...
That's correct. From where you are, that's what you see dead bodies in your party. So I'll move you down to the bottom there. So you should be able to control yourself now.
Okay. Do I see the other dead body now as well then?
Yeah, so it's basically here where I'm pinging. So its legs were sort of like sticking up across that wall that's there. So you're standing there on top of it.
Okay, well, I don't see immediate threat. So I'm trying to run towards the bar and see if there are like scratch marks towards like
So as
where
you
I saw Evermore like last time.
yeah, so where you ran to the bar, you use your dash action to get there. You can see in the this room to the side, you can see another one.
Okay, then I wanna. Can I run towards there?
You would have used. Hang on. 5, 10, 25.
Base 25.
No, you don't have any more movement.
Okay.
And you've used your action to dash, but you run up to the bar and you catch a glimpse of that in this other room.
No, then I will shout at the party. There's another one. He's stealing the ale. Grab him. And that's the end of my turn.
So the one that you just pointed at and shouted at, it's his turn, and it moves, and you can't see it. Harzana.
So, are there any civilians down here?
There's a person kind of cowering in the corner. That you can, now that you're sort of out of combat, I look around. They look like they were asleep in these armchairs on the right hand side. So you can see them over there, like hiding behind the chair.
Is there anyone that has been injured by these demons?
There's the dead guy. He's injured. Injured plus.
What about Sir Tristan? Did he take any damage?
I would describe myself on a health level as roughly 50-50.
Oof.
I'll go down to the dead guy and check if he's actually dead.
The guy. So when you, it would have been pretty obvious to you when you kind of came across him because his like jawbone was like exposed and he was like eyes were open and stuff. Like it wasn't. He was pretty badly like mauled and he wasn't like moving around going, "Ow, this hurts." So he was almost certainly dead. In fact, you know, someone with any form of medicinal experience would just not even consider it.
I've got a -1 in medicine, and I actually did consider when I came down the stairs to make a medicine check to see if the guy's alive.
Well, then I'll move up and cast Cure Wounds on Sir Tristan.
Roll it.
That's better.
Ooh, what a chunky one. So Tristan, you having just slain another, or having slain one and then having seen your comrade Siege just come in and just spear the other, followed by a dwarf running to the ale and shouting, "There's another one!" What do you do?
The direction that the other one went in, does it look like it leads to a cellar or to like an actual escape?
You don't know. You've never been through there.
I guess I will recover my shield and armor, so I'll be sort of meeting Elaine on the stairs and shouting for her to give me the stuff that I left behind.
Okay. So donning heavy armor takes 10 minutes. With Elaine helping you, you can cut it down to 5. So you're
Quite the advantage.
yeah. So you're going to be occupied for 5 minutes doing this.
Yep.
Okay. So she will do so. She will happily do so. She's your squire after all. Snow.
In combat? That's like
he's-
100 turns in combat.
Yeah, he's no longer in combat. It's going to take him a lot
Okay.
of time. So Snow.
Alright, are any of my other comrades injured?
I
I
mean,
can
the knight just ran past you, Sir Tristan. He looked like he like some wounds were stitching up, but correct me if I'm wrong. He's not full health, so. But you wouldn't necessarily know that. It looks like his wounds are stitching up as he runs by you.
Well, he is also not in battle, and I've just heard Tazros call for something. So I say, "Come on, guys, let's go chase him!" And I move my character. Hold up, how far is this? Alright, I'll move that general direction.
Okay. Anything else from you?
I will prepare... I'll prepare Vicious Mockery in case, because I can't see anything, but he said there was something here, so if there's a bad guy that shows up, I'm going to prepare Vicious Mockery on him.
Nice. Siege.
So, given that I can't actually quite get behind Snow, I'm going to run past Hazana and use Taz as a boost to slide onto the top of the bar.
Nice.
So I'm just going to do that. There you go. And then, actually, I'll use my cunning action. I'll just. No, I can use my action to actually move up further, can't I?
Yeah, you can use your action to dash, or you can use your cunning action, which is bonus action to dash because you're a rogue.
Yeah.
Leaving
Okay.
your
In that
action.
case, I'll move up further because I've got a shield and Snow hasn't. and so from where I am, it's 5 to there, 10, 15, and step into the darkness. Can I do that?
Yeah. So
That'd be
just
20 feet.
move yourself. So what you want to go up to?
Yeah. Oh, oops.
So as you run in, this thing is going to swipe at you, with its
Yeah, oops.
with its prepared action.
God damn it.
So its claws rake down the side of you as you dash into this room with your rapier drawn, dealing 4 slashing damage to you, and it's also going to bite you, as it does as well, which its jaw clamps onto your upper bicep. To
Bear in mind,
3
just
piercing
sorry,
damage.
my AC is 16, not 14, as it shows
Yes.
in the stats.
I
Okay,
rolled a
cool.
24 under 20 in those two. So
Son of a bitch. What was the damage on the bite, sorry?
3 in the bite, 4 in the claws.
Can
Okay,
I
cool.
see? Can I see this thing doing it, or do I just see Siege?
So you would see just like the claws, but you wouldn't see it from where you are.
So I can't cast Vicious Mockery just yet.
No, you can't see it because
Ah,
it's essentially behind it. And it's just attacking Siege as he runs in.
all right.
Is that your turn, Siege? That was your bonus action, so you should still have your action if you want to do something.
Okay, so I can actually like stab it in the face with my rapier that's already drawn.
You can certainly try.
Okay, rolling rapier. That'll do.
Nice. So, despite just being surprised by this thing and clawed and bitten, you just swing your rapier around, like almost like jabbing at it, dealing 11 damage to it as you slice into it as it's trying to bite you.
Just carved Mark of Zorro in its chest. Fuck you!
Tazros.
Well, someone's feeling the ill, and I don't like that. Can I get up there, I guess, now from...
Yeah. Are you gonna vault over the bar, Mr. Stubby Legs?
Yeah, let's try that. Let's have a heroic move.
Go for it. Roll athletics for that one.
Nice.
So you go like you plant your hand as you're running onto the bar to like sort of vault over it, but your hand hits like a wet patch of the bar where it hasn't been cleaned from the night before, and just slips like that out from you as you jump. So you just kind of go bang off the sort of corner of the bar, and that's a critical fail as well. That's a 1. So you will take. 5 bludgeoning damage from that one as you just face plant hard on the corner of the bar.
Why does it say snow when that casted?
I think because I had your character selected, but that was me.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to
So,
select your character. I was looking at what you could see last on my screen, so I'd clicked your character to see if you could see the creature.
Oh,
So I'm
okay.
still at this side of the bar.
You are still on that side of the bar, yes, and you're prone.
I will
gonna-
stand up and jump over it again. Because I
Okay.
need to stop the ill thief.
Okay, you can't jump over it again because you've failed it this time, unless you use your action to do so.
I'm gonna use my action to do so.
Okay, athletics once again. Nice. It wasn't even a hard one, but this time you managed to like get up, shake it off, and then jump climb over the bar. So you are there.
Nice.
But that is you've used your action and your movement now.
Yep.
Anything else
So
from
I'm
you,
just gonna. Sorry.
Tazros?
No, I'm done.
Okay, it's Harzana's turn. CG, you have anything you want to?
Yeah, I was just gonna shout out. You're supposed to actually move like a barrel, not drink from one.
Harzana.
Well, I'm going around the bar,
A wise move.
so I'll go up here and. So I can't see it.
You can't see it from there.
Hmm. think I'll use my action to dash so I can get a bit closer.
Okay, move yourself.
Yeah, so that's my turn.
Okay. So Tristan, you are getting dressed. Snow.
All right, so I'm gonna take one step forward. Am I considering it within touching range of Siege?
Yes, you could touch
All
Siege
right.
from there.
I'm gonna do a Cure Wounds on Siege.
Very nice.
And then, I don't know. I can't see it, and I know there's something there, so I don't want to walk in. So I'll prepare another Vicious Mockery.
Okay.
It's my turn.
Siege.
GM, quick question. Does that 10 points put me above... So I've currently got 8 hit points out of 15. Does that 10 put me above my max, or does it
No,
put me up to max?
just up to max.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Temporary HP is a separate thing. If you get healed
Yeah,
over your maximum, you just go to maximum.
That's fine. Okay, thank you. So I'm gonna... There's not a lot I can do in this situation, so I'm going to bring my shield up and like strike out with my rapier, like as if like a fencing pose, and try and jab it.
Go for it.
So don't fail me now. Balls.
So this time, with all the chaos going on in the darkness and everything that, and you're a little bit like off balance with all this, you jab out, but your rapier just sort of like glances off the wall next to it as you miss that hit.
And then I'm going to use my cunning action to disengage and step back one place to guard Snow's flank.
So 2 places. You can't finish your turn in the same space as Harzana.
What? I can't even see her there. That's not showing on my map.
It's not showing on your map?
No.
He's on the
Where-
right side of you.
I see.
Oh, okay.
Where's Harzana on your map?
She's not visible at all on my map. Oh, okay. I'm gonna use disengage and step back onto the trap door in that case. That's 2 places to my left.
Yes, that's fine. You can do
Okay.
that. No problem.
And I'm gonna yell out to the guys, "It's round the corner! Get it!"
Okay. Tazros.
Yeah, I'm recovering from my jumps, and I wanna run inside until I see the beast, passing Harazana, and smack the thing with my great axe.
Roll it. Yeah, so your great axe cleaves into the ale barrel below it, spilling ale across the floor as it washes over your feet.
He's just lucky I cannot rage anymore. And that's the end of my turn.
It is going to claw at you now, since you've just run straight into it.
Can try.
So it's going to rake down your buff dwarven chest for 4 slashing damage, and then attempt to bite you as well. What's your AC again?
15.
So it manages to bite onto you as well. Its jaws, teeth sinking in through your flesh for 1 piercing damage. So I rolled really high on both the attack rolls and then minimum on both the damage rolls there.
Yeah, I wish they'd been hitting me like that.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And then it's going to attempt to move towards this window and then go through the window.
I get attack of opportunity.
I was gonna say don't. Well, Taz and I do, I think.
So, Mez, you will, but it will have half cover, so +2 to AC. And then, so you can have one now, Mez, with +2 to AC. So you try and jab your scimitar through the gap between Tazros and the wall, and you fail to strike the beast as it dashes through this window, or tries to jump through the window. And as it does so, both Siege and Tazros can take opportunity attacks at it if they wish to.
Yep, definitely. Don't let it escape, Taz.
Nice.
Oh no! Look at my damage.
Two hits. So both of you go at the same time, and your weapons meet in the middle, and it's like like one of those scenes like where like a laser just goes and just like cuts, like two halves of the thing go out the window, completely independent of each other, as you just cleave this thing completely into multiple pieces. It is very definitely DED dead. And you can come out of initiative.
Nice.
Nice work, Taz. Good strike.
I wanna drop towards the ale barrel I hit and try to plug it with my hands.
Shot, guys.
Drink it.
The gap in it is like the gap the size of the head of a great axe.
Then I'll put my head in front of it, and my leg go.
Yeah, it's like if you just cleave a barrel open with an axe, it's not going to trickle out, it's flowed out. So it's already on the floor at this point. And it's floorboards, so it's like disappeared through the floorboards really. The floor is wet and it smells of ale, but it's not like a puddle of ale at your feet.
Yes.
So
What are we doing now?
as you're doing this, Siege, you feel the trapdoor beneath your feet like trying to move.
Ah, bollocks. Taz, stand ready, man. I'm going to back off this trapdoor. There's something underneath it. So I'm going to step back warily with my rapier pointed at it and see what tries to push up from underneath.
Okay. So
Okay, I'll ready
Yeah, Taz, move up. Yeah.
with
Okay.
my great axe ready.
Okay, Taz, 3. Don't swing if it's human. Just wait. So I'm going to move back. 3, 2,
What if it's
1.
a rat?
Ah, fuck it.
you step back and the hatch bursts open and you see the face of Galinde with her eyes wide.
Galinda, are you alright?
What the fuck was that? Jesus, I only just got down there in time.
You're lucky to be down there, to be honest. One of your patrons is dead. It's a Triglavian demon. We've killed 4 of them in your bar.
Fuck me. I better summon the guards. They're done now. Thank you. I can't thank you for that. But let me. She climbs up and she's like, "I'll please just wait here. I'm gonna go get the guards." And
Is anyone else down there?
Just me. I saw them and there's nothing I could do. I have no weapons. I just fled.
You did the right thing, lass. You did the right thing.
Well. And she looks over at the
Don't go
body.
out,
She's like,
I'm not stupid. Maybe I am, but I'm not. You should not go outside alone getting guards, cause. Yeah.
she's like, a good point, Master Dwarf. And she looks across to the other guy who's like sort of coming out from behind the chair, and he's kind of wandering over, and he looks like really like pale. And she turns to him and she's like, El Romior, will you come with me? Come with me. We must fetch the guards. And he's like, yes, I will. I have this. And the two of them will head towards the door to leave.
Galinda, would you like an escort? I'm not quite sure how many of these things are in the area, but if there's 4 in here, there's bound to be more.
Well, we're not going far. The guards will be hopefully just around the corner. But sure, you're welcome to join.
Alright, Taz, go and hurry up, Sir Knight. We may need his armour.
Yes.
So who's going with Galinde and El Romior?
So Sieges.
Okay, so
I'm going
Siege,
with as well.
you're going as well, Harzana?
Yeah.
So you guys all
there-
head outside.
Is there a way to collect these corpses to like prove what
It's
happened?
not Eve.
Yeah, but we gotta be able to prove what happened. What if they vanish?
I mean, they haven't vanished in any other combat you've ever experienced with them. They appear to be, you know.
To be fair, she was unconscious for the last one, so she's not going to know that.
Yeah.
One of them for some reason isn't marked as dead. I don't know why. But
It's the one out the window because the action finished. I think the combat action.
Yeah.
It wasn't marked as dead during that.
So Siege and Harzana, along with Galinde and El Romior, head outside, and she leads you basically across the bridge outside the Broken Drum, and there's a couple of guards posted pretty much just there, and she yells for them, and they sort of look like they're sort of almost like nodding off because it's it's like 2-3 in the morning or something. They're like barely awake, and then they jerk up, they're like, and she's like, guards, and then they sort of grab their stuff and come running, and together they all kind of run into the bar. If you guys go back with them as well.
I am going to remain outside and take a walk around the inn.
Okay.
I believe
So-
it's separate the building, right?
Yeah. So you can do so, and we'll come back to that one. So the guards, when they run in, they see the bodies and the blood and everything that, and they're like, "What happened here?" They've got their swords drawn.
The threat's dealt with, lads. You're too late, but we'd appreciate you help in securing the place.
Put your
Companions.
weapon away, citizen.
I just helped kill these things, you moron.
Aye, but there's no need to have a weapon drawn right now. Clearly, you've said the threat is gone. Now, turns to Glinda's like, "What happened here? Can you vouch for these people?" And she's like, "Yes. They killed these whatever they are, these bestial things. I think that one," she points to usage. I think that one called them like Triglaves or something, but I thought they were a myth.
No, Triglavians are very real. Our parties fought them before, and we've reason to believe there's a member of your community that's actually importing them and trading them.
Jesus. Right. And then one of the guards is like, turns to the other one and is like, "Go, fetch the Imperial Guards." And he's like, "Yes, sir," and like runs out the door.
While they're doing that, can I make a nature check on these things? A bunch? Or investigation?
Yep.
Can I aid her with that? Because I did so well previous to try and do it.
I got a
No
nat
need.
20, dude!
So,
No, wait.
in analysing this thing, it matches the description from myths and legends that you've heard over the years of strange creatures that had stalked the lands generations ago, uneasy shapes that dared not face the light of day. And you'd heard stories of sometimes, when the sun was safely down, lone cottager not far from the from Ravaros might hear scratching at his securely bolted door and shutters, and then in the morning find deep gouges in the wood and mutilated animals in his barn. These match everything you've ever heard of the legends and the stories of Triglavians. Many people consider them to be myths and legends and just stories to tell the kids. Don't go out at night, the Triglavians will get you. They match all, and as a bard, you've probably heard like songs and so on about these things, and all the stuff you've seen so far. The silent screams, the claws, the pale skin. It all matches that. So you're pretty certain. Although you probably wouldn't have believed that they were real. As far as you can tell, these appear to be Triglavians. The demon man is right.
Alright.
But when you're with a 22 in your nature, every story you've ever heard talks about Triglavians being solitary. They're as likely to attack each other as anything else. No story you've ever heard has them in packs or in groups or in anything more than one, really. Harzana, you're outside. You do a lap of the building. You find the dead body outside the window, around the back, that your fellow's cut in half as it tried to jump through. You see a couple of like claw marks and stuff, and you see one open window that leads to the common room. This one here, which I'm pinging, which was open, and there's a couple of claw marks around it.
Do I see or hear when I look around to the outside if there's any other places being attacked by them?
Perception. Nope. It's too dark.
Damn, my roll's really shit today.
So, back inside, after a bit, when Snow's examining this body, the guard that left will come back in with a couple of other guards, but these ones are wearing a different armor. It's much more fancy looking. It's got like gold trim and things on it, and like a sort of wine red cape and things. And those of you who have spent any time in the Holy Empire of Mar recognize these to be, even you, Sir Tristan, would recognize these to be Imperial guards. So this is the equivalent of guards for the Emperor or Empress versus local town guards. This is like the next level up in the hierarchy of guardsmen, basically. And they walk in, and they look a lot more like regimented. They didn't look shocked or anything. Like, they just look like they're well trained, well disciplined. And two of them immediately take up posts on either side of the door as the person who seems to be in charge walks over and starts examining the bodies.
So, Snow speaks up and shares the information she learned from her nature check, and she also lets her allies know whenever they come in earshot. She points out how she finds it peculiar that these travel in packs versus being solo.
So the captain, who is looking at the body next to you, sort of gives you a sidelong glance and is like, "We will send these bodies for investigation at the Emperor Family Academy in Amar. I'm sure they'll be very interested to learn about these." And he like sort of snaps his fingers, and the other two like go over and they start collecting up the bodies and things.
Alright.
Before you do that, I suggest, Captain, if you don't mind, that there's one that's held bound in the town at the festival. You might want to investigate that first, and also where it was obtained from.
Speak up again, citizen. You say there's one bound? You have one bound?
No, I don't have one bound. One of the townsfolk captured one, or was sold one, according to our information, and was displaying it in the local market, the local carnival, and was charging people to see it. So if that one's still there, you may find it useful, as it was still alive at the time we saw it. But you might want to investigate where it came from, because we've got reasons to suspect it was sold locally.
He turns to one of the other guys and he's like, "Lieutenant Hightower, after you've dropped these off at the lawmaster's office, check that out." And the lieutenant's like, "Poof," and continues going about his business. He's like, "Thank you, citizen. I suggest you just retire to your rooms. The guard has this under control."
With all due respect, sir, I think you may need all the help you can get. If there's 4 of these things, there may be more abroad. And whilst I've no doubt you're capable...
The Imperial Guard does not need your assistance. Thank you. Please retire to your rooms. The Imperial Guard appreciates what you have done here. Make no doubt about that. But your services, and he says that with a bit of like disdain, are not required.
Well, you enjoy yourself then, laddie, and don't come crying to us.
Yeah, Siege, don't you know? They could have handled these all by themselves. That's why there's a dead guy over there. Snow says as she walks off.
Good point, Snow. Let's get back to our rooms then. Leave these boys to handle themselves.
So they will like efficiently and quickly sort of pack up the bodies and head off with them. Galinda is like still just sitting down. She's like, I need a drink, and she like pours herself some spirit at the bar and sits there and just sort of like pounds the first one, and she's like, "Listen, you guys, I cannot thank you enough. While you're here in Lashkai, you eat and you drink for free. All right, I can't thank you enough."
That's mighty kind of you, lassie. I'll
And
join you in one of those if you don't
pulls
mind.
down like a bunch of glasses and pours out this spirit and hands one to everyone. Rosanna, if you've done your lap, are you sort of coming back in, or are you still outside?
Yeah, I'm going back inside and telling them that there's no one else outside. I think this was the mall.
Yeah. So as you walk in, like the guards are leaving, the Imperial guards, and the local guards are sort of looking a bit like dazed by what's going on. They don't really know what they should do, and they kind of like look a bit awkward now, and they kind of slowly make their exit as well. And as you walk in, that's happening as Galinda is pouring out these drinks at the bar for everyone. She sees you and she pulls a cup down. She's like pours another one and hands one to everybody. Except Sir Tristan, who's still upstairs getting dressed.
Hey, there's
Chad.
only
Although he's probably about finished by now, so a heavily armored knight comes charging down the stairs, yeah. Just in time for
Clattering
a
down
drink.
the stairs. Dig, 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 dig.
After she finishes her drink, she pours another one for her, and then if anyone else is necking theirs as well, she'll top up theirs, and then she'll put the bottle back, and she'll be like, I don't know about you, but I'm going to fucking bed.
The dead guy is. We need
No,
to.
he was one of the so we don't really encourage it, but sometimes people just they don't have enough money to even do anything. We let them sleep in the benches or anything down here. He was just one of them. He asleep in the bench. Don't know who he was.
If you don't mind me saying so, Glinda, we should try and board up that window that Hazana pointed out before we go up. Are there any of the weak points you'd suggest in the bar? Is it worth mounting a watch? I don't feel like more of these things will come back, but I don't want to be caught with my trousers down again.
There's only to board it up. We just close the shutters, and she gestures at all the other windows. There's like 20 or something in the bar, most of which have the shutters open. She's like, "It's a good idea though," and she goes around. And she starts closing all the shutters.
Aye. Well, in that case, if there's no other points of entry, I'll take your suggestion and head up to my room.
Same.
Please, if you don't want to put your trousers down, then put them up. So you don't get... I don't know. Just keep dressed, okay? I don't want to see you naked or whatever.
Thanks, Taz. I'll remember that next time you're diving across a bar like an idiot.
What do you mean?
I mean, you could have more quickly walked around it than tried to dive across it.
I mean, you needed me to get over it.
Yeah, but I used my brain and you just kind of try to barge your way through it as per usual.
I used my brain as well. Didn't you see it hit the floor?
What, your brain hitting the floor? Yeah, we see that a lot of the time when you open your mouth.
How does that work?
You speak and your brains fall out, laddie. Stop drinking, or drink more and let's go to bed.
I like the latter.
So, for those of you who are going to bed, you can do, and unless anyone wants to do anything else.
I will probably drink
I'll just-
like 2 more and then sleep.
Okay, you can do so. There's no problem. You'll go to bed in your various positions or wherever you decide to lay, and you can have a successful long rest. Although you are waking up a little bit later today, it's more like sort of like 10 o'clock or something in the morning because of the night's activities. I'm just going to briefly go to the bathroom, and I'll be right back.
Guys, I can't believe we did that. Without us dying.
Oh, yeah, 4 bloody demons, like, shit!
And no one had a rest? Like, oh my god, dude.
Well, to be fair, like, we hadn't done much the previous day. Like, we'd fought the couple of rat things, but that was, like, ages earlier, so we were alright, but...
Rest.
Are you putting on your armour in the middle of that fight? Like, what the hell, dude?
It was done.
It wasn't done. There was a fucking one in the corner, and there could have been more coming out the trap door.
Yeah, to you guys to chase down the straggler.
Oh, he's so gracious.
I was incredibly lucky to only take one entire health's worth of damage
Yeah, you were.
during that period that I wasn't armed, wasn't armored, and was fighting two of them.
Maybe you should go without your armor more often. You were clearly more effective.
I just wasted a spell slot healing you, and then you fucked off.
Well, I say when I had my DR3 on, and I was taking 12 damage per hit.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal to be fair. Like, I got quite lucky because I got 15 hit points. If that thing had, or if it could roll properly, I'd have been screwed.
So
my long rest button didn't work again, so I did manually again everything.
Okay.
So, but I did it.
we'll have to figure that out at some point. Like during the
Yeah,
week.
probably just don't need to import it. Like create manually next time, and then will work.
Okay, so it's the morning, and you wake up. Everything is cleaned up from the night before. And when you go downstairs, Glinda sees you and she gives you a wave, and then she sort of mimes sort of like sort of, are you hungry type thing, and then she sort of just like across the room she's like just gestures at some tables.
Yeah, with the appreciation breakfast, if you don't mind.
And after like not long, if you're all sitting down, she will come bustling around and drop off like very very heaped up portions of sort of meat and bread and cheese and stuff like that for everybody.
Thanks, Lassie. Appreciate it.
There's quite a few people sort of like milling in and stuff like that, so she's like goes back to bartending and running around, and Jonah the young boy is back as well and doing his standard job.
I think I'll be the first to say it. I don't know about you guys, but I think we need to pay a visit to that merchant, Jorg de Mont, and find out what the hell is going on. Because those things have got to have come from his estate. They can't have just wandered into town in a pack like that. That's just bizarre.
I mean,
Check up on the festival as well. There's one there, but I wonder if it's still there. Or if
Yeah.
the guards took it away.
yeah, we should check on that guy because, I mean, what were these things in here for? Just killing? Or were they actually looking for something?
That's a good point, Snow. Did you find anything when you were looking across the body?
No, I just identified them as Triglavians, but I also know, based on everything I've heard, they don't travel in packs, but these ones are in a pack. But if you look, they killed that one guy, but they didn't eat him. So something's weird.
That's a very good point. Because the last one tried to eat you, it almost bit you in half.
Wait, it did what? Oh my god!
Yeah, you were unconscious, and we did. Myself and Taz took care of it and got you back up to health. But it tried to bite you in half. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, and that one was by itself, so these ones are weird. I wonder what's happening.
Well, based on what you just said, maybe they've been released and targeted. We did try and break into that chap's estate last night, or yesterday evening, and
my
then
gosh.
suddenly 4 of the things turn up at the place we're staying.
Do you think that's revenge? Oh my gosh.
I wouldn't put it past a man that sells demons.
How dare
Yeah.
he?
Other places were hit.
Sorry, Hazana, I missed that. What did you say?
We need to figure out if other places have been hit.
That's
Yeah,
a very good point.
We should go look.
In the place, then yes, there's some written about it.
So a quick scout around the town, and then we'll go and see Jorg. Yeah. What about you, Sir Knight? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we need to speak to this merchant.
Are you in
By-
favour of
by
scouting
light
around the town?
day, by speaking to every lead we can get our hands on. If anything's happened in the night, the guards will have seen it. Possibly even the guards saw
Aye.
shifts around here.
Taz, what do you reckon, man?
I want to know who did it because they spilled ale, and that's like that sentence. And then we need to replace the ale, and then I want to visit the gate with my hat again. I mean, not with my hat again, like where I put my hat and talk to my friends over there.
Right, okay. So we're going to find a barrel of ale, strap it to your back, and find some kind of long tube and feed it into your mouth to keep you quiet, and the rest of us will be useful.
Ooh, that sounds interesting. Can we?
I thought you might like that idea. Let's head out into town and we'll see what we can find then.
All right.
So I guess we're going to finish our breakfast and then head out as a pack.
Yep.
Okay, so you do. It's delicious. You're all very full because it was heaped up on the plates, and it was very delicious. And you head outside, and to your right, if I bring up the Lashkai map again. So every time I open some of these maps, some of the text like distorts, and I have no idea why. So you come out of the Broken Drum, and to the south of you is the festival grounds, and along the path next to it is where you know York Dumont's house to be.
This building, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Given the last time we split up, it didn't go too well. Should we stick together today?
Yeah.
No more singing, eh, Snow? Despite the coin you make.
No, I can't let you guys go out and die.
Much appreciated. So, should we check out the square, speak to the guards, and then head down to York's?
I have an idea. We can see if they have left some footprints. Could give us an idea which direction they came from.
That is an excellent idea.
Investigation.
So where are you looking?
I will go to that window they entered, and I'll see if I can track their footsteps.
So while you're looking around there, so Tristan, you spot what seems to be a busted shackle lying in the weeds just below the window.
Gonna recover that for Hazana.
I'm going to look as well, and since two others were too busy rolling that die, then I'll just cast guidance on myself.
DM, based on Siege's backstory, would I be able to try and look at where the footprints were coming from? Or should we just leave that to Sazana?
We'll go back to that. So, Harzana, with your investigation, you can see that there's a lot of footprints. It's really hard to tell. Like it's like obviously a well-trafficked area. People going around behind the bar. Like some corners smell a little bit like piss. And there's a couple of piles of old vomit that's kind of like lying around. Obviously, people come around here or throw up out the window and things like that. But amongst all that, you can see like these like kind of clawed footprints, and they seem to have come from the direction, like from south, like from the direction of the carnival or York's house. It's kind of impossible to tell because they're in the same general direction. But they go across gravel and stone very quickly when they reach the path. When Sir Tristan shows you the shackle, it looks remarkably like the shackles that you saw in Alathar's display, the Triglavian white demon that he was showing in the carnival the day before.
Is the shackle broken, or did someone release it?
It's basically impossible to tell. It's one of these ones where it's like kind of it closes and it's got like a bar that goes through it. The bar is not there. It could have been like pulled off. It could have fallen off. It could have in numerous ways. But the chain itself, it looks like it's broken.
I see the footprints are coming from the south. They could either be Yorick's mansion or the festival grounds. So
Well, I mean, unless there are any more stored at the festival grounds, I think Yorgs is going to be where most of them have come from based on the information we have, but we don't know enough.
also the question is, did he hide that many of them?
Well, I'd imagine he's got a basement in a house that big. Well, I can't imagine there's anywhere locally that you could store them without them being noticed.
But I thought we didn't see any of them when we were in the basement.
Yeah.
We didn't get into the basement, did we?
Yeah, that's where Horzana and I broke in.
Yeah, no, you go into the house, you got into the kitchen, didn't you? I don't think you got into the
Via the
basement.
Broke into the basement, went
Oh, my
into the
apologies,
basement, and
sorry.
then up through the yeah.
Sorry, okay. Did you spot anything whilst you were in there that could have been, or there was any way you didn't explore within the house? I remember you said you went upstairs and found the dining room or something like that.
Dining room, I think, was on the first floor. And then we found the kitchen. There were a couple hallways, but I didn't see past that. Harzana might have been able to run around further. I think she ran upstairs.
Yeah, and upstairs I just found the bedrooms and his study.
Was there anywhere that you didn't manage to explore in the time you were in there? Any doors you didn't go through on the ground floor or not on the basement?
Don't think in the basement, but on the ground floor, yeah, there were other rooms.
I saw
Okay.
like 2.
So potentially they could be in the house, but given how dangerous they are, I think that's unlikely.
Yeah.
So we're not sure where they came from. I mean, we could go back to the festival grounds and see if there's anything there that could help us, but at the moment there's not a lot we can actually do. There's not a lot we know about, so happy to take thoughts.
Should
Well,
we?
I have previously dealt with smuggling many things, and storing dangerous creatures in your living room won't be something that makes sense. So it's unlikely that they have been in the house.
We should
That's
meet
a
with
fair
Jorg while we're here. I think we should meet with him ASAP.
Aye.
Okay, so head down towards Yorks then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let
So you had-
Tristan do the talking.
You head south, and you reach the fork in the road where ahead of you is the entrance to the festival grounds, and to the right is the road that leads both out of town towards Fabin, where you sort of all independently came from a couple of days ago now, and also towards Jorg's house. Those of you with passive perceptions of above or 14 or above, will notice that there are a couple of Imperial guards in the festival ground today, and they're all standing over towards the center.
Does anyone have passive perception above 14?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Imperial Guards are here. So at least they can protect people.
So they say.
But yes, they may also interfere with our investigation.
So what I'm getting based on that is trying to avoid them as much as possible. I've not had much interaction with them, coming from a farm.
I mean, we
seem
don't
very-
have any reason to distrust them, so.
That's a fair point, but they seem very sure of themselves, having walked in after we killed them.
Well, I wouldn't entirely trust them with what we find. But they can still be a valuable asset if we need the manpower for something.
Aye, I'm sure they make good meat
Possible
shields.
that, they're taking coins from Yorick.
You suspect them of bribery?
I don't suspect them, but I don't rule it out either.
I like the way you think. Naturally
It's
suspicious.
also possible that there's someone higher up in this.
Okay, well, given that there's Imperial Guards in the actual fairground, should we just head straight for Yorgs then?
Yeah.
And as mentioned, Sir Knight can do the talking.
Okay, so you approach, and there's a couple of guards standing outside the main gate, as there were
Snow?
yesterday. There are different guards
Oh, okay.
from last night.
Before we round the corner, I will cast guidance on Tristan. The stars are with you, my friend.
So we're gonna approach the guards.
They see you
Okay.
approaching, and they kind of like sidelong glance at each other, and sort of make themselves a bit more upright.
I don't blame them. I am clean and fully dressed, so I'm quite a sight. I'm going to attempt to. I'm going to persuade them to let us in on the basis that we are here to see their illustrious boss, who should be expecting us.
So what are you going to say to them?
That Jorg is expecting us. We're here to see him about a shipment, and in particular about a sale to a carnival barker guy.
Okay, deception then.
22 total.
The guard nods. He's like, right away, sir. Please, this way. And he like opens the gate and then heads through, and sort of steps aside to let you walk in front of him, and sort of looks like he's expecting all of you to walk in.
Come along, team.
So yeah, we'll all follow through, and I'll just gently guide Snow because she's currently preoccupied looking at butterflies.
So he gets to the main door to the building, and he wraps the door, and after sort of like 10-15 seconds, a man opens it. It looks like more like a footman rather than a guard, and he takes one, so looks at you, looks a bit puzzled, and the guard's like, these gentlemen and ladies are here to see Master Demont. They have an appointment. And the footman sort of looks a bit puzzled, and he's like, your name? And he addresses Sir Tristan. Your name, please?
Sir Tristan of Athlon.
1 second, please. And he steps back and closes the door. And the guard sort of like stands there and, to attention. After sort of 20 seconds or so, the man opens the door, and he's like, Master Demont has no record of a meeting with you, Sir Tristan.
How big is this door? That's an
Dub-
out of character question.
double door, standard sort of nice house sized.
Right. How big is this guy?
Average. He's a footman, sort of a upmarket butler.
Okay. I'm going to, in a slightly more threatening tone, suggest that he checks again, as we are expected. I want to stress the syllables of expected.
Okay.
Much worse than.
So he's you see him look a bit puzzled, and he's like, "Can I ask what it is regarding?"
Sales of Triglavs.
You see his eyebrows go up a bit, and he's like, 1 second, and he closes the door. And the guard's looking a bit more uncomfortable now. Because
Taking all my restraint not to just boot this door open. Conducting myself politely.
and he comes back after breaking the door, and he's like, Master Demont will see you. And he opens the door and steps back, and he's like, please, and he directs you towards the stairs. He's like, His study is upstairs.
Is he leading us or is he just pointing us?
He's gesturing.
Okay.
Harzana, take the lead.
Well, I go inside and I do what the rain suggests. Lead the group upstairs. While not being too obvious about it.
I'm gonna flick my hood up.
Snow kind of hides between everyone, hoping that nobody recognizes her.
And as we are walking up the stairs, I will just quietly mention to Tristan, I can help with the talking.
Well, actually, where I come from, the women lead, so that's reasonable for us.
I should maybe visit that place one day.
So there's a couple of guards at the top of the stairs, and the door to his study, which you saw when you were in there as a cat yesterday, Harzana, is open.
Well, I enter.
So as you enter, you see the room that you saw the other day. Bookcases on the wall, a very nice ornate desk, sort of taking centerpiece of the room. There's various decorative flourishes, some portraits on the wall, maybe like a globe, perhaps it's a globe bar, you never know, and a couple of other bits and pieces. Behind the desk sits the same man who was there last night. He is writing on a piece of parchment as you enter, and he does not look up, and he continues to write, and he sort of looks like he signs almost like a flourish, and he takes a little pot, a little sort of brass pot with a handle, which was sitting on a little holder with a candle on it, and he pours a little bit of wax on it, and then stamps it with a seal, sort of shakes it and lets it dry a bit. Then the pouch that you saw last night on the table, he opens it and he places it inside the pouch, and he closes the pouch, and then he looks up at you. And as you all file in, there's a guard on either side behind him, and another guard's in the corner of the room, kind of behind you, if that makes sense. And he looks up at you, and he sort of looks over his glasses as you all kind of filter into the room, and says nothing.
Greetings.
Well, hello. I do believe you said something about Triglavians to my footman.
Yes, I'm sent here by my master to inquire about these creatures, as he is looking for some.
How peculiar. And who is your master?
Lord Vitalian.
You see his eyebrows go up. Deception, please. Well, I find that mighty curious, considering I have just finished writing my correspondence to Mr. Vitalian right now. And he opens the pouch again, and the parchment is gone. He did not mention you.
My ship was delayed.
I see. And pray, tell me, my dear, the name of your ship?
The Ithaca Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
A fine vessel.
Oh, you were talking to me. I see. I understand.
The name of the ship is La Liberté.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Vitalians lost La Liberty some time ago. And yet you claim to have arrived on it. That does not add up.
Well, I didn't claim I arrived on it. After all, have you seen the ship around the city? But yes,
Touche.
the ship
Touche, my
crashed
dear.
out. Was
But-
forced to come by foot.
I think it is quite clear. You are lying to me. Who are you and why are you here?
Well, you're interested in these Triglavians. Didn't I say that already?
You mentioned it. Please, elaborate.
There have been some attacks in this town.
I have heard as much. It does not concern me.
Yeah, you remind me of him. Doesn't care as long as it's profit.
Well, business is business.
It is.
Now, why don't you tell me what you're really here about? You claim to be from the battalions, but we both know that that is a lie. Why do you use that name?
Just out of character, question, do I still have any symbols or anything that could indicate my affiliation with the battalions?
Probably not.
Well, like I've mentioned twice now, I'm here because of the Triglavians. I'm still still have some questions about them.
Ask your questions and perhaps I shall answer. But as I said, business is business.
So how many of them have you sold?
Well, I could not possibly be sharing trade secrets now, could I?
I don't see how that's going to make me compete against you.
No, but information is valuable, no?
Well, we may both deal in Triglavian business, but my role in this business is a bit different.
And what is your role in this business?
Removing them from the surface of this world.
And there's a little, like the pouch in front of him kind of like goes, almost like vibrates a little bit, and he opens it and he takes out a piece of parchment that didn't seem to be there before, and he reads it, and then he folds it up and he puts it into his desk drawer. Now, I do not know how you came about this knowledge, but I cannot help you.
How so?
You have not asked me for any particular help. You have just asked me to give out free information about my clients and my business. That is not in my interest.
Well, I didn't ask it to be for free.
Well, now we're talking. Please, present your offer.
How does murder sit with you?
Are you offering a murder?
No, I'm talking about a murder committed by one of your demons.
Charles is like, these demons are not mine. I merely deal in the sale and transportation of such beasts. But such a beast could not possibly be controlled by one man. Would you say a bear is a murderer if a bear mauls a farmer in his field? No, of course you would not.
I recognise your argument, but you're bringing dangerous beasts into this town and trading in them. And the issue is, 4 of them got released last night from your estate, and we have the information proving where they came from. And they've murdered someone in the bar. The Imperial Guard are aware. So unless you'd like me to actually pass on that information. I suggest you work with us a little bit, and maybe we can come to a mutual agreement.
Well, why don't you tell me what this information you apparently have is, because I will give you this one for free. I do not keep these beasts on my estate.
Thank you for that. It's useful to know.
You're welcome. Now, information for information. What is the information that you claim to know?
Well, the thing is, as my colleague mentioned, we're looking to remove them. Given you deal in them, it seems our interests are not exactly aligned. So I'm not really of the inclination to hand over that information to you right now.
Well, then I believe our business is concluded.
Can I say something? Do you ever come in the Broken Inn?
I have no need to make visitations of such an establishment.
But have you tasted the ale from Evermore? Have you tasted the ale?
Of course, I have some of his casks in my own cellar down below.
Then you know it's the best ale, and it got shattered by the beast, and that I call that in common interest. You and I have.
He'll laugh a little bit and be like, "A funny one. I can appreciate some humor in a day such as today. Now, unless there is anything else, I really must insist that you take your leave."
I'm sure the Imperial Guard will appreciate our information that suggests your involvement in this.
And which information is this that I have sold? Beasts? Is that against the law? I do not believe it to be so.
Sale and transportation of demons is not against the law. That's an interesting way of looking at things.
Your words, not mine. These are beasts.
No, they're demons. They're not beasts.
As I say, your words, not mine.
Well, the Imperial Guard have the corpses to prove that. They have them under investigation on the way right now to the Emperor Family Academy in Amar, and I'm sure they'll be very interested to dissect them and find out the origins of these beasts, as my colleague Snow will have passed on.
Well, I can tell you they did not originate from this estate.
Our evidence says otherwise.
Then I believe your evidence is flawed.
Are you sure about that?
I am mighty sure in this particular instance. A good businessman does not incriminate himself. He's got a kind of cocky attitude on him now that you can kind of all see. It almost feels like he's not toying with you, but he's amused by what you've presented to him. Now, unless you have any other business you wish to pursue with my estate, then as mentioned, I suggest you take your leave.
Very well.
Actually, wait. I have one recommendation, sir. You should get better guards. They do a terrible job. Not speaking from experience or anything, I just want to let you know. Especially the ones at night.
I did hear about a cat person that came in last night looking for her pet. I presume that is yourself.
Yeah, well, actually, it was just a lie to try and talk to you, but they said you were, quote, so busy, but you definitely weren't, and this conversation could have happened last night, and then we wouldn't have dead people at the end because of your demons.
Well, perhaps then I will also speak to the Imperial Guards, and you have just admitted to breaking and entering.
Now that's hearsay. They can't find me once I disappear.
Well, then our business is definitely concluded. Now, and he gestures to the guards. Please see these fellows and fillets out. And the guards kind of like will sort of step towards you, as in like, this is when you leave, kind of like they're sort of expecting you to take the hint and leave.
Yes, we follow. Or
Yeah.
like go. Yeah.
Yeah, after Snow's little interruption, I'm happy to leave. So I'll follow the guards outside.
Yep.
They will escort you out, and once you're out, they will close the gate behind you, and then the main bulk of the guards will head back into the house.
And then I'll look at Snow. What the hell was that?
Yo, dude, he has shitty guards, okay?
You could have exposed our little adventure. Gotten us
Look.
into trouble.
I'm the only cat person in like a 50-mile radius. There's no way he didn't know it was me.
So you can still remain silent. So didn't risk speaking too much to him.
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
he's a man who likes honesty, TBH.
Aye, lassie, but there's a difference between honesty and admitting to breaking and entering into his estate.
They didn't press charges last night. How are they going to press charges now? It doesn't make sense.
I get where you're coming from, Snow, but sometimes discretion's the better part of valor, or some bollocks like that.
Whatever.
You know, it's getting more and more tempted for me to just leave this place. Especially if he's actually working with the Italian.
Well, given that was a complete dead end, and he's admitted to the demons not being stored in his estate, we need to try and find out where they are stored, if anything.
We need to find
Suggestions?
that guy at the festival.
Aye, he may know more, but I'm not sure how I'll get him to talk. It took a fair amount of persuasion last time to actually get him to surrender Yorg's name. Do you reckon he'll actually know where they came from, or will it have been delivered?
Well, we know that he had one at least, so we can see if he had an involvement in the attack.
I highly doubt he's involved in the attack, but it's the only we've got at the moment, so we may as well.
Pressure him for information, of course.
I'll happily try again, unless anyone else wants to try.
Oh, I want to try. Can I try? And I grab my great axe and just hold it in my hand.
Oh, what are you going to do, Taz? Headbutt him? I know he's not a metal gate, so that'll, probably do some more damage, but it's hardly going to get the results we need.
I mean, not speaking from experience, because I never done this before, but sometimes great axe can it makes people talk.
I mean, let's try something a bit more subtle first, and then, if we get to that point where we need a great axe to make him talk, we can use your skills.
Okay, and I put my great axe down and just start walking towards the festival.
Someone get that
Like
dwarf into
shoveling,
ring.
like...
So what's everyone else doing?
Going towards the festival ground,
Yeah.
I believe.
Okay. So you can do, and you can make it to the festival, no problem. And outside the tent, where the you saw the Triglav demon the other day, is the Imperial Guards that Harzana saw standing across the entrance.
Oh shit.
Any signs of that elven man?
You can't see him.
So Snow walks up to the Imperial Guards. Hey, I'm here to talk to the Elven guy. His name was. Oh God, I wrote it down somewhere. His name was like Alrind or something like that. I forget. Oh, Alithar. Is he here?
These are the same Imperial Guards from this morning, like in the middle of the night, by the way. These are the same people. So they recognize you coming up, and the captain will be like, "What business do you have here with Alithar?"
So Snow holds up her coin purse and goes, "Well, he was charging gold to see the demon thing, and I thought if I looked at a live one, I could understand them more since I fought one, and one almost killed me."
And what do you know about Mr. Alithar here?
He's an elf that was charging 1 gold a person to go in and see the Triglavian demon.
And when did you last see him?
Yesterday at the festival. Wait, why are you asking me questions? I thought you knew where he was.
And he like pushes open the tent, and Snow. No one else can really see this because of the angle everyone's at, but because Snow's the closest, you can see like through the gap in the tent, the pretty badly mauled body of Alithar lying in the floor of the tent.
Oh no, Alithar died! What the heck? What'd you do to him?
And he closes the tent. He's like, I find this very suspicious that there's been 2 attacks during the night attributed to beasts and demons, and somehow both times we run into, he looks at all of you,
Well, yeah, because we fought one of them. Why do we keep running into you?
Well, I step in front of Snow and try and interrupt the. Well, first of all, we were attacked. We were at the target of one of the attacks, and secondly, we know this guy was someone who had one of these. So it's a natural lead to go and talk with him if he was the guy behind these attacks.
So you're telling me that you have deduced that the man displaying a demon had a demon? Perhaps you should leave this to the professionals.
Well, we have 2 dead bodies on your hands, sir. Like, what are you doing in this?
We are the Imperial Guard. We cannot patrol everywhere at one time. We are called in situations such as this, when the local guard are overwhelmed. And a like runner with the sort of the sigil on his jerkin of the Imperial Guard runs up to the captain, hands him like a scroll, and he unrolls it and reads it, and then he turns to one of the other Imperial Guards that are there with him, and he says, "Lieutenant Hightower," and the other guy's like, "Oop!" Snaps to attention. He hands him the scroll, and he says, "Go back and send a dispatch to Lord Hightower in Amar with an update on the situation here and in Fabin. Request more guards and let me know." And Lieutenant Hightower is like, "Right away, sir," and he starts to head off.
DM, dumb question. Is the town we're actually in Fabin, or is that somewhere else? Sorry.
It's Lashkai. Fabin was
Oh.
the small village that you passed through on your way here.
We slept at barn, then visited Faven, then came here.
Oh, is that where we... sorry,
Yeah.
looking through my notes. Okay.
So we went through Fabin, and if they're just dispatching more guards, that means something happened.
Excuse me, Captain. You mentioned a situation in Fabin. What's happened there? We passed through it on the way up.
You passed through it. Another coincidence, I presume. There's been a number of these attacks in and around Fabin.
Is this from what we... Sorry, failed there completely. From the sounds of it then, that's where these demons are originating from. If this is the first such attack in this area, would you say that's accurate?
Well, you should thank your god that we are around. If it wasn't for us, more people would already be dead.
The Imperial Guard appreciates your service.
Didn't catch your name there, Captain. Apologies. I understand your lieutenant's name, but I'm Siege. What's yours?
Captain Calidus Berlacher, Imperial Guard.
Berlacher. How are you spelling that?
Berlacher, Berlacher, Berlacher.
It's like a giant bear.
Except he's lacking. Yeah, okay. Appreciate it. Thank you, Captain. And I'll turn to the group and...
Wait, and Fabin, do you know the bartender, Taryn, at the Stormy Maiden? Are they okay?
I do not have up-to-date information on Fabin. Perhaps you should speak to Lieutenant Hightower. I'm sure he will have another update by the time he gets back to the Lawmaster's office.
Okay, thank you.
So, Lieutenant Hightower, should we go and find him then? Talking to the group.
He just delivered a message. Like, did you see him run off?
Yeah, but Captain Bearbollocks said that he'd be at the Lawmaster's office. Might be able to find some more information if he's by himself and not with this stuck-up lunatic.
Alright, let's go.
Well, you'll find that Emma is full of plenty of stuck-up lunatics.
Well, maybe we'll get lucky. We'll see what happens. It's better than standing around talking to this and looking at dead bodies.
Sure, you can give it a shot.
So, are you heading into town?
Gonna head... Where's the Lawmaster's office in town? We haven't come across that yet.
So, in town, you haven't directly come across it. That is correct. So you're heading up into the main square.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna try find it.
Yeah, that's probably like the easiest central starting point.
I ask a random villager, since I'm kind of notorious with my music, if they could help me out
Sure.
for finding it.
You ask a villager, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's just over there," and then they point. And this building next to Seychelles, it has a small crest of the Imperial Lamar Empire above it. It's
Found it, guys.
very nondescript building. Doesn't say like Lawmaster's office or anything on it.
Nice work, Snow. Let's head in and we'll use our more eloquent member's charm to try and speak to this Lieutenant Hightower.
What?
We'll use the elf and the knight to talk to the other human, as they didn't seem to respond too well to us.
Oh yeah, people are racist.
I feel you, lassie.
Alright, let's go in.
Okay, so you head in, and there's a man wearing the colours of the Imperial Guard, sort of sitting behind a desk, and he looks up as you come in, and Lieutenant Hightower is standing to the side with a pouch, and he looked up as well. Can we help you, citizens?
Gonna gently nudge Hazana in the back. Out of sight.
We are here to discuss the Triglavian attacks.
Alright, you got some information to report? But he's like quill and parchment. What have you seen?
Aside from, it was us who fought the ones in the inn.
Oh, that was you. Well done. Well done. Lieutenant Hightower. The lieutenant looks around. He's like, "Was this them?" Lieutenant Hightower's like, yes, this appears to be the people from the end this morning. And the other guy's like, oh, great job, guys.
Thank you. Well, we're here to hear about the investigation.
Oh, yeah, it's ongoing.
Snow butts in, forgetting all of her social norms, and goes, "Wait, we heard that that Fabin was attacked. Do you know of the Iron Maiden, that inn? If Tavin, their bartender, is okay, or the Stormy Maiden?"
What was it called again? Actually, the Storm
Maven.
Yeah.
Maven? Oh no!
So Lieutenant Hightower, he will glance over at you and be like, a number of the outlying farms have been evacuated, and we are sending a small detachment of Imperial Guard as soon as possible, but I don't think we're going to have resources to get people to Fabin within the next week.
Oh no! You should definitely not have them check out the Ravros Tanglewood, though. And then Storm looks at Harzana to continue.
But yes, as we all know, this looks like something that's escalating. And it is our interest as well to see these demons getting taken care of. So
yes, well, the resources of the Imperial Guard are rather stretched thin at the moment. As he says this, the little pouch he's holding kind of goes and vibrates a bit, and he opens it and takes out a piece of parchment. He reads it. And he puts it down, he's like, sighs, he's like, Lord Hightower has commanded that we send a detachment to Fabin immediately. However, we do not have incoming reinforcements, they are needed elsewhere. Therefore, we have to find soldiers of fortune to deputize. He kind of looks around at you lot.
Snow is like doing one of these.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, us.
So Tristan?
That's what we are coming to discuss.
Feels like there is a history of the Imperial Guard authorizing agents such as ourselves for this, so that seems reasonable.
Yeah, the Imperial Guard have been known in the past to outsource, shall we say, work to adventurers, mercenaries, and ne'er-do-wells, depending on the needs. The Imperial Guard itself doesn't maintain a huge number of active soldiers. It's just not economically viable for them. They function mainly as lawmakers and peacekeepers rather than an actual force within the Empire, at least this far out from the core. If you were to go to Amar, there would be detachments of them, but out here it's not unheard of for people to be paid to do stuff for the Imperial Guard.
I'll pipe up. Well, what are the rates then, laddie? As you can see, we're accomplished demon hunters. Between the lot of us, we've already killed 6 of these things.
He looks at the scroll and is like, I have been authorized by Lord Hightower to authorize a stipend of 5 gold per day per person for services to the Empire.
I mean, that's not bad, but I feel given the risk these demons place, demons, fuck it, provide, that there could be some danger money in that. Like I said, we are quite proficient at killing them, so we'll be doing you a favour in the long run.
I've been authorized by Lord Hightower to authorize 5 gold per person per day. And the other guy is like, oh, just tell your dad to pay up more. And the guy like, shoots him a sidelong glance. And he's like, shut up.
How about a bounty then? So no additional fee for per person per day. I understand that exactly. It's tight. The Empire's tight. They always have been. But what about a bounty?
The Empire does not issue bounties. However, we can certainly track your loyalty and give you a certain number of points for that loyalty, which could be redeemed for Empire goods.
Snow speaks up and turns to Siege and goes, Siege, how much did Lorenzo pay us to kill some rats? Maybe we should just go kill some rats in these farm towns instead of helping these guys, since they're so cheap.
I think you're right, Lassie. I mean, the best part of 25 gold for 5 rats. I think that's a much more interesting prospect.
And
I did mention this was 5 gold per person per day. Yes.
Aye, but what happens if we clear all the demons out in a day? Then we're out of work. And we could have just killed rats.
We're not going to pay. The Empire will not pay for nothing.
Well, I mean, at that point, I'd rather just go and kill rats for the money. We can spend a day doing that, and then put our feet up in the bar of an evening and earn the same cash. Why should we risk our lives when we can do rat killing and make just as much?
It is a free market. You're able to do exactly what you wish. There will be plenty others who will take up this opportunity. Now,
I'm just going to look around.
He turns
I don't
to
see
the other
many
guy.
of those.
He turns to the other guy. He's like, "Draw up a poster." And the guy's like, "Oh yes, I love these things." And he pulls out like a big, huge piece of parchment and like some like paintbrushes and stuff, and gets like some stencils for letters and stuff, and sort of starts to prepare to make a poster.
While he's arguing with the guy, I'm just gonna like step forward and sign whatever it is that the guy's got.
Okay, yeah. So you step forward. He kind of looks at you a bit, and you just like pull out your pocket quill or something and like sign it. And he's like, "I guess this means you're signing up."
I shoot Sir Tristan a filthy fucking look.
In order for this to work, we need to know what you know. I'm not risking my neck by going blindly into something.
It appears you know exactly what I know. There's been some attacks in Fabin. The outlying villagers have evacuated. Some have refused.
Then
I personally will be leading us up there. I will be taking us to investigate Fabin. You will be under my command.
No, laddie. If we're going and rescuing our necks and we're being paid for it, then we don't answer to you.
If you want paid, you will.
Well, what happens if we just turn up and claim the bounty ourselves?
There is no bounty. You will not be paid.
The Empire have stuck up bunch of assholes.
The Empire has a budget, to which they stick to very strictly. Lord Roderick Hightower is a finick person when it comes to the expenses of the Imperial Guard.
You think if he's putting his son at risk, he'd actually be prepared to shell out a bit more, but apparently not. Doesn't place much value on your life, does he?
He just glares at you.
Yeah, that's what I thought, laddie.
What if we just go to Fabin ourselves and then ask the farm people, like, we will kill demons for money and ill.
I'm sorry, did you not say you had been to Fabin already? Did it strike you as a place of wealth?
I mean, they had a big barn and a house. That's more than 5 golds.
You're welcome to go yourself. You will not be paid by the Empire. You are free citizens to do what you wish.
I know.
Except, he turns to Sir Tristan, you looks at your scroll and says, Sir Tristan, report in tomorrow morning, 9 a.m, Central Square.
Good luck with that. One knight, one squire, and a lieutenant. That'll be a fun battle against the demons.
I pat Sir Tristan on the shoulder. Well, I can't follow you in this. I don't want to be a lackey of the Empire.
Yeah, I'm not signing up. Not if they are so cheap.
I think I'll just ask that bard if he needs some protection.
So Lieutenant Hightower will turn to the guy at the desk and be like, "Continue making the poster. Now, please, if you've no further business here, fuck off."
You have such nice manners for a guard, laddie. It's no wonder you've only risen to lieutenant.
I won't be risking my neck for you ever again. So tell me, how many of these demons have you slain?
Personally, I have slain many a beast. I have yet to see one of these demons alive. But fear not, slay it I shall.
I'm gonna walk out and head back to the broken drum.
Yeah, same.
Same.
Maybe check if I can find that halfling bard.
Yep, so you can look for him. He does not seem to be in the square, as far as you can tell, if you're just looking for him as you're walking back, and you don't see him the rest of the way back to the broken drum. So what would you like to do? You all get to the broken drum?
What time of day is
I'm
it?
pulling breath.
It's probably like lunchtime by the time all this has gone down.
Well, we can just stay at the inn and enjoy free meals and ale.
I don't see a problem with that for the moment. Though I'd like to try and find this Amity Farlight we met recently.
Yeah,
She,
same.
Took quite a liking to Snow. I'd like to see if she's got any information. Bards always know a thing or two that the rest of the population don't.
So what are you doing?
So I guess myself and Snow will head up towards the Silent King. Taz, Hazana, would you like to join us and try and find Amity? Are you going to stay here?
Following.
Yeah, I'll come with you.
What's happened to Sir Knight? Where's he got to?
I'm assuming he came with you.
I thought we were doing the free food, but I guess if we're not, we'll.
Well, it's lunchtime, so I'm like, meh.
Yeah, the broken drum is the free food.
Yeah. Well, we can grab lunch and then go up the road to the Silent King if you want to. You cheap ass, what's it?
I don't carry money, so.
I know you don't.
So you have your lunch. It's no problem. And then as you're sitting there eating, a young child will approach Sir Tristan, and they have a little doll. There's like a little armored knight, like a little mini knight, and they're just sort of like looking like, must be like a toddler, like sort of 4, something like that. And it's a little girl, and she's like just looking at you and her little thing, and she's like starstruck.
I'm gonna offer to share my food with her. Talk about her doll.
She was just like just nodding excitedly, and hold up her doll to show you.
I'm gonna take a look at it. I'm gonna comment how much I like the armor. They've done a really good job.
She seems really like taken by that. She's like really excited and like this is amazing. This is incredible. Like meeting her hero type thing.
I'm not gonna give her the sword though, because the sword is massive and dangerous. I might let her try on a gauntlet.
It does not even remotely fit her hand. Like
Both hands hit it,
yeah. And she's like making like sort of excited noises and stuff like that. And after like a couple of minutes of this, when everyone else has pretty much finished their food, a woman comes running over. She's like, "Oh my god, Jess, come on! Sorry, I'm very sorry. Like Sir Knight, very sorry." And she's like, "Come on!" And like, kind of grabs the little girl's hand and like, "What if I told you we're talking to strangers?" Starts to lead her away.
I'll, I'm doing everything in my power to appear non-threatening, so it's no surprise people want to, come over and bother me.
The little girl, as she's like being dragged away, will like just wave at you, and then you leave. And now you're all finished with your lunch. It was very delicious. As delicious as it could be, really.
2 decades from now, that's another night, that is. Long game.
And so, where you go? Are you heading to the Silent King?
Yeah, gonna try and find Amity.
Okay.
Yep.
So if you're all going up that way, you walk up through the town square. There's the festival is still going on, although it seems a little bit more subdued today compared to yesterday. People seem maybe a bit like delicate in the head after the first day was the big day, all the drinking, all the celebrations. Today people are a bit more like, ooh, okay, let's take it easy. There's bards that are playing. There's stalls are open, and you head up towards the Silent King. And you go in, and as before, it's dingy, it's dark, and there's not that many people around. And sort of heads turn to look at you as you come in, and then quickly turn away. Around the bar, you can see behind the bar itself. Actually, you see the dwarven landlord who you've seen before. You see a young-looking female half-elf with short, curly, golden hair, sitting, sort of leaning back on a chair with her feet up on the desk, and she's sort of playing with a dagger, like with a point in her finger, and like spinning it. There's a other man you recognize as Elomior, who was the guy in the robes from the inn this morning, who helped Galinde go to get the guards. And there's another guy, much larger, human guy, looks sort of about like late 40s, early 50s, very long, straight black hair and dark eyes, rough, sunburned skinned and sort of big muscles, and a large tribal tattoo that kind of comes up his neck, and then you can see a small skull tattoo on the back of his left hand. And then right at the very back in the corner, you see someone sitting there with a loot out and a cloak on with their hood up.
Siege, go.
Do you think that's Amity in the corner? Say, looking at Snow.
Hold on, let me double check, cause
She's a dark-skinned bard with a lute.
yeah, she had curly hair. I mean, yeah, if she has a loot, go ask.
Okay, so I'll wander over to the cloaked figure with the lute and mention a dwarf, a tabaxi, and a tiefling walk into a bar to see her reaction.
She looks at you and she laughs, and it's a nice laugh, like a pleasant laugh. And you recognise her. That is indeed Amity. She's got her long curled auburn hair and her brown eyes, smooth black skin. She's like, "Oh, hello again."
Afternoon, Amity. Good to see you again. How's tricks?
As well as they could be. And she kind of plucks a few strings in her lute.
Aye, that sounds good. Doesn't sound as good as the rest of the news in the town, though. I wondered if you'd heard anything about these Triglavians, these demons.
Well, I've heard the scuttlebutt around, but don't really know much about it, to be honest. Someone said something about Fabin being under attack or something like that.
I wondered if you'd heard any of the connections with the local merchant Jorg.
Her eyebrow, which has like a colourful piercing on it, raises slightly as you say. She's like, "Jorg, he's connected to this." Of course he is.
It sounds like you have heard of his business in the past. You care to fill us in? He's not been very helpful at the moment.
Wow, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. Personally, I don't have any dealings with him, and she gestures to the young girl who was playing with the knife, who is watching intently across the room at you guys. Maybe you should talk to Demia. She has some dealings with him sometimes.
Appreciate it, Amity. Thank you for your time. And we'll nod and wander over towards Demia. How are you spelling that, sorry?
Dimia. Demia.
Okay, Dimia.
So she is she's young. Looks very young. Like 15, 16, 17. Has the very short, curled, golden hair and grey eyes, and quite rough, but golden skin. She's short and skinny, and she has a kind of badly done piercing on her nose, which looks a little bit infected.
Excuse me, Demir.
Yes. She looks at you very intently.
I heard from our friend Amity that you meant a thing or two about the demons we've been having recently around the town.
Oh no, I don't know anything about the demons. Do you need something
well-
sold?
Sorry, say again.
She looks at you and she speaks to you in thieves' cant. So only Siege understands this. She's like, if you have stolen goods, I can shift them for you. I only take 20%.
I'll mention back to her, talking about the town in general and what we've been doing. But in Thieves' Cant, I will say back to her, no, we don't have any goods to sell. We're interested in information about York.
And she'll say in thieves' cant back to you. So you have information to look into buy.
And yeah, in Thieves' Cant, I'll just say back, yeah, potentially. We know a fair amount already, but we're looking to find further information about demon trading.
She'll switch back to common and she'll be like, I'll see what I can do.
Appreciate it, lassie. Do you mind if my colleague Azana here looks at that piercing? I don't want that to get any worse than it is.
What's wrong with my piercing?
It's a very nice piercing. I admire it. I'm just concerned it's infected, that's all.
Ain't no infection going to take down Demia. Not Demia the Grey.
I don't imagine it would. You're a tough lassie, I can see that, and I've no wish to impinge upon you, but if it does get worse, it could affect things. My colleague here is rather proficient. She wouldn't do any harm.
Hosanna, are you doing anything?
Well, did he speak in Thieves' Cant?
This isn't common.
This isn't common from now on, like, for all this part.
Wait, are you signing me up to check
Look,
one's piercing?
If you wouldn't mind, I'd appreciate it. It may help us in the future.
Well, I don't really have any herbs with me to help, but I can have a look.
Can Snow assist?
Do you have proficiency in medicine?
No. No, never mind.
You jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Wait.
have proficiency, so then yes, you can help.
Proficient in anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, half proficient.
Yeah, you can help.
Yeah, I assist.
And I'll cast guidance on myself.
So you step forward, and you said you wanted to use like sort of like herbs and salves type stuff on this, right? Rather than magic.
Well, I don't have the herbalist kit, so I don't really have the herbs for it, but I'm going to have a look at it.
Okay, well you can have a look at it, and you can tell that it's a wee bit infected. It's nothing serious, and you sort of like look in, and you don't quite touch it, but you kind of like move the skin in, move your nose a little bit to like flatten the skin out, and you're like, you don't have to worry about that. It's it'll clear up by itself. It's not that bad.
Well, I'll tell her that there's nothing to worry about. If I
And
handle it, fine.
Appreciate the Hazana, and thanks for your time, Dimia. You can find us at the Broken Drum if you're looking for us.
no worries.
And
She,
can I have a
she's
quick...
gonna like get up and make her way to the exit of the Silent King. And she will, as she does so, she will turn and she will toss a gold coin to the barkeep as she goes to leave.
That lassie is not badly off. She's tossing that kind of money around at that age.
And then she leaves. Hosanna, you can take 10 gold off of your character sheet.
I don't even have that much.
How much you've got, take it off.
Put a little minus note.
I rolled her a sleight of hand against your passive perception when you were checking her medicine. She rolled very well.
Would I have noticed that at all?
It was above your passive perception as well.
Oh, my fucking passive perception is shite.
And you weren't. None of you were actively looking for anything like that. So
No, that's fair enough.
How much gold did you have, Hosanna?
6 goals.
Okay, you have 0.
Silver and copper.
Hosanna's
You
not
got
aware
her
of this
robbed.
yet. Hosanna's not aware of this at this point. But just say mark it off your sheet.
Just out of character note, I believe Hasana is going to have a flip real soon.
So what would you like to do? You've spoke to Demia, who, when you spoke to her in Thieves' Cant, it was pretty obvious she's like a sort of small-time rogue and local fence. She has a couple of connections around for like the thieves and things like that. What would you like to do?
So we're still at dead ends now, right?
All we know is that the village is under attack.
We could go celebrate the last day of this festival and then tomorrow go to the Faben. Or we could leave now. It takes a day to get to Faben, right?
I mean, the thing
I
is,
mean-
Sir Tristan's got to wait anyway because he's been told turn up at 9 o'clock, and him being the honourable knight that listens to authority, he'll do that.
Not necessarily true, because they're meeting to then go to the village.
Yeah, under the command, or you won't get paid.
Oh no, they won't pay me. However will I survive if they keep their money from me?
Well, I mean, this is what I'm curious about because, like, you say your character, this is me out of character, doesn't accept money for any services. So, why did you sign your name up when your character doesn't accept money anyway?
Because that's where I'm going anyway.
Okay, it seems like there's a little bit of a juxtaposition there.
No, we're going the same direction. We're going to go solve the same problem.
We might as well stay here and enjoy a free dinner.
Yeah, long night rest.
I maybe get hammered. This is getting me a headache.
So you heading back out of the Silent King? Are you taking to talk to anyone else, do anything else there?
No, I don't think
Nope.
there's anything else I'd like to do, folks.
As you're walking outside and heading sort of down the street, Hosanna, some way ahead of you, you spot a figure who is wearing like very heavy leather sort of overalls with a big hood with like sort of thick dark glass eyes on it, walking along the street.
Do I recognize which ship he's from? Or
You
do I
wouldn't
not-
recognize that, but you, with your aforementioned knowledge, would know what that outfit is.
Yeah, I know what it is, but I'm just wondering if it's one of Vitalian's ships he's from.
From here, as far as you can tell, it's just a stone pilot.
I put my hood up and try and keep low profile.
Okay. And then what?
And then I'll just follow the group. Try not and catch any attention.
So you're following your group.
Yeah.
Okay. So give me a stealth roll, just to see if you can blend into the crowd. Okay. Yeah. Seems to be fairly good. So the rest of you see Harzana put her hood up and sort of like slip back a little bit into the crowd, and become kind of hard to follow.
I'm gonna try and follow her.
Okay.
Same.
Wait, I'm following.
So you're all following each other in a circle now.
I'm not even trying.
So me and Taz are walking to the broken drum, and the other three are walking in circles around each other.
I guess.
Well, I'm still walking back to the broken drum. Just
Okay. So you're all
trying to
walking that
find
way.
it.
Some of you are being a little bit more sneaky than others, trying to blend in with the crowd. Harzana, the stone pilot, is kind of walking that way as well, and he crosses the bridge, and he walks past the broken drum.
Yeah, when I get a moment alone with the group, I'll when I'm sure there's no one who can overhear us. I'll let them know that there's a skyship nearby.
It's a
That guy.
skyship.
Yeah,
Well, wait, what's a skyship?
a ship that crosses the sky rather than the sea.
Oh, they have that?
Well, some have.
So, what's the history check on Sir Tristan? Skyships.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna explain to Snow in quite rambling and specific detail the history of the concept of a skyship, some of the kind of famous early ships, and the development of the technology to date.
So, you
It's my second crit history check in a row.
with the crit, you will actually be able to recall some knowledge and lore about skyships. So Sir Tristan knows the following, but Kyle obviously didn't. But the skyships are quite rare in New Eden. They're incredibly expensive and very difficult to manage. And you know the way that they're imbued with flight is through what is known as flight rocks. So these are rocks of some sort of magical origin that you're not aware of, that are buried deep within the core of these ships. And if you cool the rock, then the rock gets more buoyant and forces the ship to go up into the air. And conversely, if you heat the rock, it makes them become more dense, and then they sink. The stone pilot is one of the most key positions in any sky ship. They're responsible for maintaining the equilibrium of the flight rock. So they're the master of the braziers to keep this thing in the air. The reason why they're not used very often, the reason why they're so expensive and so dangerous, is because it's possible to simply lose control of one of them. If you run out of the ability to heat the rock up, then it would just get more and more buoyant and go up and up and up until you're lost to the skies above, essentially. So there's tales of ships being lost because they were caught in a storm, for example, and the cool stormy air was making the rock more buoyant, and they were trying frantically to keep the rock warm and bring it back down, but they just couldn't, and it would just up and up and up and up and up and away. So that's what you explain.
Oh, nice. So then why were you acting sneaky, Harzana?
Well, first of all, I'm quite surprised how much you know about these ships, Tristan.
When you travel like I do, you pick a few things up.
I see. Ever been on one?
I have not.
That's a shame. It's a lovely view from one of them. But to answer a question, Snow. I mentioned the name of Lord Vitellion. He's a privateer working under the Galante Federation. And if he's involved with our good friend Yorick, then I don't like the idea that he has men down here. Like, it could be someone else's ship, but there's not many people who have these ships. So if there's a ship around here, then there's a good chance that some of his men around here.
Okay.
Possible here for some of the demons.
All right.
Well, if you say for some of the demons, maybe we can track them when they go aboard and find out where they're coming from. Track them back to the point of origin.
We could see if we can find the ship.
Oh, you've got the best knowledge of them, surely, so maybe we should follow your lead in this one.
Well, I didn't see it land, so don't know where it is. Not like they're easy to hide, but if the stone pilot is walking south, then either he's going to the ship or maybe he came from it.
Well, how much time have we got left before sundown? Does anyone know?
It's probably like mid-afternoon now.
Thank you, random
6
voice in my head.
hours.
We can maybe ask people if they have seen the ship.
I mean, we can either do that or can follow the pilot. Up to you.
But we are not entirely sure if he's walking to the ship or from it. But yes, we can follow him and see where he goes.
I mean, like a big giant ship in the sky would noticeable, right?
Yes, but I must come during the night. Otherwise we would have seen it.
Yeah, but if it comes during night, how can they see where to? Do they land? Do they
Well-
fall from the sky? What do they do?
Based on what Sir Tristan said, it has to have landed for the stone pilot to be ashore, right? The stone pilot wouldn't leave the ship because they're kind of vital, right?
Yeah, they can land them, tie them to the ground.
Okay, well, I can't imagine that pilot would stray too far from their vessel, logically, given how rare and precious they seem to be. So, the best chance of finding it if we didn't spot it was to follow the pilot, right?
Yes,
Okay, well, let's follow the pilot then.
just keep eyes and ears out. Don't like being ambushed.
Oh, we're not going to rush in all guns blazing, but it's the best lead we have right now, given everything else has been shut down.
Yeah, definitely. But be careful. Like, you know how valuable this guy is, so they're not going to let him go around unguarded.
Well, did he notice any guards around the pilot?
No, that's why I say we must be aware of ambushes. The guards we
Right.
haven't seen.
Okay. So, is the party going to follow the pilot?
Yeah,
Snow looks around to see if she sees anyone suspicious. All this talk about things we're not seeing.
You see plenty of people heading in and out of the festival. You can see the guy that Herdana has pointed out up ahead. As far as you can tell, there's no one being more suspicious than you would expect. Like with the 21, you see some what looks like, you know, maybe like a petty thief kind of like eyeing up someone's coin purse on their belt, and you see young couple sort of like running off into the bushes and things like that, but you don't see anything overly suspicious.
Alright. I let the party know.
So the stone pilot is like heading along the path past the festival that goes towards York's house.
Timmy's going to York's house.
Well, I'd imagine we'd notice the ship if it was moored near there, surely. How big are these things?
Size of a galleon, except they can fly.
Bigger than a
Okay.
house. They'd need quite an area to put it in.
Okay, well, we'd spot it surely if it's down by York's place. It'd be adjacent to the festival grounds, right?
Or further south, in the forest or something.
Okay, well, are we going to follow this guy?
I mean, would the ship fit in the basement?
No, it's rather massive.
No, Taz. Yeah, it's big.
So they're hidden in the terrain somewhere. So behind some hills or in a forest.
Okay, well, the only forest we know of locally is the Raravas forest, which is a bit further south than this. I can't imagine the stone pilot be that far away from it, so logically it has to be closer than that. And given that Fabian's in the same direction past York's house, let's start slowly moving that way and see what the pilot does, yeah?
Yeah, I agree.
So you all follow him. It's incredibly easy to do so at a distance. He's quite sort of distinctive, and it's relatively busy around here. He heads along, and then he seems to speak to the guards outside York's house, and then they let him in.
Guys,
Okay.
we're letting him in.
Because
Well,
it's possible that he was going from the ship to here.
potentially aye, but the fact that he's going into the house is immediately suspicious given the communication of the magic letters that were going back and forth. You did notice the pouch go ding-a-ling-a-ling on his desk, right? So we wait here for him to come out. He's not going to be away from the ship too long based on what you said, how rare, how valuable they are, and how unpredictable. So we wait here. We try and be as inauspicious as possible, and when he leaves, we follow him.
Yes.
Wait. Harzana, you said this guy knows you?
Well, not this specific guy.
But would he recognize you? That's why you were being sneaky, right?
Well, there's a chance he could recognize me. I'm not sure who this guy is.
I can do a disguise self action? Oh, wait, it says only self. Never mind, I can't use it on you.
Can I use this guy's self on someone else?
I hate this game, dude. It's so mean.
It's like me earlier asking, am I a target within 5 feet of myself?
Yeah.
Technically, yes, I am.
Well, in worst case scenario, I would not think he would recognize me when I am a cat. But being a cat has some limitations.
No opposable thumbs.
Oh, if cats had opposable thumbs, there'd be none of us here, to be honest.
Well, Snow has opposable thumbs.
I'm a tabaxi, not a cat.
Well said, Snow.
So we've established that the ship isn't to the south of Lashkai. That does leave 6 other directions this ship could have been parked in.
So, question to you, Ivika. Where in the town did I spot him first?
Coming down this street towards the main square, and then he kind of walked this way, so I could draw it. He walked that way, and you sort of spotted him there.
Well, I spotted him coming from the north, so it's quite possible that's the direction the ship is from.
Let's go back and look. Unless we want to sneak on them in York's place.
Well, we've already established that getting into York's place is no easy feat, and my sausage is not quite recovered from it. So the way I see it, we've got 2 options. He's either going to come out and go further south, potentially, or he's going to go back to the north. We don't know, which is why I'd rather wait and find out than go rushing off north and potentially miss him.
So
Yeah, I agree. We need to know which direction he goes afterwards.
after like maybe a minute or so from when he went in, he comes back out with someone. This person is tall and slender. They look like a regular person. Tazros, you recognize him.
Do I? How?
You know him as Nigel or Nigel. You've met this guy before.
I look a bit shocked, maybe even a bit scared, and I point towards him and tell the group, I know that guy.
Shh.
Try to be a bit less obvious, Taz, but it's good to know. Like, how do you know him? What connections does he got to this whole debacle?
He's like missionary, kind of.
Did Dragon pick up for anyone else there?
Yeah, I didn't hear that at all, mate. Can you repeat that?
I heard mercenary.
Yes, it's a mercenary guy. So he does things for money.
Oh, yeah, okay. So the likelihood is it's a guard potentially for this stone pilot. So let's just wait, see where they go, and see if this stone pilot leads us back towards the ship, and try and find out what's going on from there. See where these demons are coming from. Try and actually get some information, because right now we're just running around chasing our tails. No offense, no.
I mean, I doubt he's just a guard.
Well, what can you tell us about him?
I know him as like Nigel kind of name. It's a long time ago, but I think it was Nigel, which is his like soldier code name. And he runs a private military mercenary group. And I may or may not worked for him a long time ago. And did more than just guard stuff. Usually not guarding stuff.
Right, okay. So he's a soldier of fortune, he's a mercenary. Right, so which direction are they, as the stone pilot and this Nigel, whatever his name is, moving?
As you say, which way are they moving? They're not moving when they're standing outside having some sort of conversation.
Can we eavesdrop?
Not from where you are right now.
Dang it.
Okay, so can I, because I'm fed up of waiting, can I try and stealth closer to eavesdrop in the conversation?
You can. Roll me a stealth, please.
Okay. Hey, that'll do nicely.
Very nice. So Siege sort of slips away from the group so stealthily you don't even see him go as well. You just sort of turn to ask Siege, like, can we get closer? And you realise he's gone. Siege, you're able to sort of, like, moving like from behind person to person, you kind of like seamlessly move through the crowd, keeping a bit of a low profile, always with someone between you and them. And as you get closer, you sort of step into a dark shadow cast by a tree, and you listen. And you can't really make out the voice of the stone pilot muffled under the leather hood that he is wearing. But you can hear the other guy talking. And he is saying... the client confirms we have a very strong interest in these. We need to obtain more and get them onto Melora's favour as soon as possible.
Can you spell Melora's for me, please, mate?
Yeah, Melora.
Thank you.
Melora's favour. And then there's some like muffled talking from the other guy. and he's like, "That's none of our concern. Client has paid good money for this." And then the gate opens and a third figure comes out. This one's wearing robes and like a sash, and turns to the other two and is like, "Are you ready?" And they all sort of like nod. And then he raises his hands and he sort of waves them around a bit, and then with a clap, all three of them go poof and disappear.
Fuck.
You bastard, Ithaca.
That was Dimension
Right, okay.
Door.
I'll move back to the party and relate what I heard and see if it triggers a memory with Azana and Taz.
So do I recognize the name of the ship?
When Siege tells you Melora's favor, yep, yeah, you recognize it. That's definitely a ship of the Battalions.
Yeah, that's definitely one of their ships.
So it seems like this Lord Battalion is definitely involved with the buying of demons, as we've previously probably confirmed. So now we need to try and find out where the bloody hell this ship is, or we just go and bash some demon skulls in. Up to you guys.
Do we know that they use Dimension Door, or should we roll an Arcana check to confirm that?
Those of you with spell slots can roll Arcana checks to see if you recognize the spell.
Does a cantrip count as a spell slot or not?
Yeah, you've got magical abilities, so you can do
Okay,
it.
cool.
Oh, it's really awful rolls.
Siege, you recognized it as Dimension Door. You're aware of that spell. It's a relatively short range spell. Great for those in your industry specifically to shake a tail, for example.
Right. The spell hasn't got fantastic range on it. I've seen it used, and it can't have gone particularly far. So, what is the range of that? Sorry, Ithaca?
500 feet.
500 feet. Okay, so he's got to be within 500 feet of this. Given the distance to the north of Lashkai, I don't think he's gone that direction. I don't think that's within range of the spell. Is that right? Sorry, Ithaca? Or am I allowed to ask that?
Yeah. I mean, 500. It should be. The map should work.
Oh, okay,
range.
gotcha. Oh, okay. So
they could, but it would
Yeah.
be just outside of the north. So we should be able to go and see them. If we went north to double check.
yeah, okay. So we don't really know how far it is, but we can pace it out, can't we? I guess. Like, I know we'll innately know how far it is, but we can always go and find out. Right. Okay. So the spell's got a range of approximately 500 feet. That's the maximum range of it in theory. It could be more or less depending on the spellcaster, but we can go north and try and find if the ship's there, if that's beyond 500 feet, and if not, we can head south, having found nothing, and go towards Farret to actually deal with the demons. They're the only options I see at this point, unless anyone's got any input.
Well, the ship must be somewhere around here. It's not going to be miles away, so...
No. So given that you saw this chap coming from the north originally, should we check the north path? It's probably within range. I don't know exactly. See if there's anything up there. If there's not, then we can go south from there and deal with this demon problem.
So as Siege is talking, the rest of you see him just wink out of existence. He vanishes. Siege is gone.
Can we roll an investigation or Arcana check to see what kind of witchcraft it was?
Sure.
Someone assist me on that.
I can try, but it won't do any good.
I'm definitely not proficient.
You can't tell what happened or where he went. He's just not there anymore. He was there. Now he's not. Siege. Meanwhile, you appear in what seems to be a what's the word? Alchemical sort of lab area. Like there's like sort of stuff bubbling away and like vials and stuff like that. And there's a figure with pale blue skin and white hair. Who's like sort of mixing some chemicals and
bollocks.
stuff. And she's like, "Pass me that vial over there, the blue one, please."
I'll warily hand it over.
She takes one and goes, "Thank you. See you next time." And then suddenly Siege reappears in front of you guys again.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Siege, what the heck was that?
This is part of the deal I made in the festival. So I'll open my pouch to reveal the 3 healing potions that I received, and I'll mention how... Also, fuck you, Thekla. probably right. Sorry, breaking the fourth wall there. Yeah, so this lassie offered me some free healing potions when I was wandering through the festival in return for a minute of my time. And I guess this is the start of that. I'll probably see her at some point again.
I thought it was you devils who made the pact, not you being the victim of the pact.
No, I'm not a devil. I have devilish heritage. There's a difference. You should know this is an elf.
What?
I'm a tiefling. I'm not a demon.
I'm well aware of that.
Well, if you're well aware of that, then you should know that I have demonic heritage. I'm not a demon myself.
So
Well, maybe
as you're bickering, you guys hear some yelling and some shrieks from the crowd behind you.
No runs to see what it is.
Here we go again.
So there's a bunch of little goblins with like poor armor, and they're carrying like crates of vegetables and stuff like that. And the townsfolk are like, what, like a little bit afraid of them, and that's what the screaming is.
Snow looks to see if she can see any of the town's guard or imperial guards and see how they're reacting to the goblins.
The town guards are sort of like very warily watching them and sort of like keeping a very close eye on them. One goblin seems to be like half the size of the other ones. He's really small, and then he is carrying this like little crate full of like potatoes, and he sees you guys, and he sees the cat, and he's confused, and then he sees this heavily armored knight, and he goes, and he drops the potatoes, and he runs over, and he's like, "Hello, Sir Tristan."
I'm gonna like sort of scoop him up and walk back towards the potatoes and towards the other goblins.
Yeah,
What are you doing here in Lashkai, Sir Tristan?
What are you guys doing here? Have you brought supplies for market?
Well, no, these are for us. We had to leave. Mr. Hamza and his wife, like, we all had to leave the farm. It's been overrun with those beasts from the forest that overran our original home as well.
Are you guys all safe at least? Did you all get out?
Yeah, we all got out. We got set upon by one of them. There was 2, but one of them ran away. I've never seen them like in packs or anything before, but I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, we're great now. Like, he gestures around at all the other ones. They're all waving. They've got little packs and stuff.
I'm really glad you guys are safe. We're actually on our way back that way to root out some of these demons. So I'll keep an eye out. You said there was only 2.
Well, when we left, yeah. And then, like, further up the road, you see Kieran Hamza and his wife, and they see you and they come over, and they say, "Oh, hello, Sir Tristan. These comrades of yours have been incredibly helpful. Honestly, I don't think we would have been able to keep the farm going at all. But with everything that's happening now, we've had to leave it. It wasn't safe for anyone there. But
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about the farm.
Well,
But you two are safe.
yeah, some things are worth more than gold. We at least we don't have to sell to Jorg now. Like, if we can return with these fine little fellows and all the goblins, like, yay, it's us. Then we certainly have enough farmhands to keep things going again. So thank you very much for that. Like, I would have hated to sell, but hopefully the
Absolutely.
farm is still standing when we can return.
We'll do our best to drive these monsters out.
And Kieran sort of leans in a bit. He's like, "There's whatever these things are, they're driving other things out of the Tanglewood as well.
Other things.
Beasts and creatures that normally prowl within the Tanglewood, even they're being forced out and running from these. I think you called them Triglaves when we last met. Whatever's causing them to erupt really from Ravaros is forcing everything around to flee further out. And there's some very unpleasant things in the Tanglewood, as I'm sure you're aware. You've travelled through it.
Yeah.
Tristan, ask them what made the one Triglavian flee. We gotta figure that out.
How did you guys drive off the first one?
Well, we he turns to the goblins like, well, that's these little heroes there, and they're all like, hey. They killed one of them, and then the second one just not galloped. It kind of shuffled off, but so quickly.
Ah, goddess, I'm so proud of you guys.
Well,
One of them shows you like a fresh healing scar on his arm.
so is it normal for these to run away and fear for their life?
As far as everyone's aware, these are like mindless beasts. They don't show any form of social etiquette, intelligence, planning. They're just beasts.
So
But yeah, you saw them work as a pack already. And, like that's, and Snow pointed out that's not normal.
So if you had one run off and we had one run off as well, there's something that drives them, the survival instinct.
Beats me. Like we just got as much stuff as we could, and we got out of there. We're going to see if my cousin's still got his place in town. We'll see if we can shack up there for a bit. Hopefully, we'll be safe behind these I guess just the guards. It's like these professional soldiers.
Absolutely. The town seems safe enough.
I hope so. I did hear there was something last night, and he sort of points around at the Imperial Guards are still in the festival ground. I heard rumours that there was some of them here, even in the town. This far from the forests. Is anywhere safe? Do we need to keep going? And he turns to like the goblins. He's like, we can't go anywhere more civilized than a small town like this. These little fellows won't be accepted anywhere else. You can see the reaction of all these people. He gestures around.
I'm gonna make kind of a song and dance of demonstrating that the goblins are kind of safe, acceptable sort to the people around.
Can I do a performance roll to assist?
Yeah, go for it. So as you're doing that, like one of them is like making scary faces at like a child who's crying and things like that, and people around are like very, what's the word? Suspect of these these things. I mean, these are goblins. These are like ugly little beasts that eat babies and things like that, as far as they're aware. So these ones seem to be fairly harmless. They seem to be acting quite pleasant, but you wouldn't invite them in for dinner.
It's sort of like it's like a duet performance, like a kind of medieval meatloaf. I would do anything for love, including letting goblins live in my town.
People seem to be like, well, I mean, if all these people seem to think they're all right, so I guess they're nothing to be scared of. But don't really trust them, dirty little creatures.
I mean, they let the dwarf in, so.
Yeah, and the dwarf's the one that shit in the middle of the pavement, so. So they will be like, they'll say their farewells and they will carry on into towards town. The Imperial Guard, having finished their business in the festival ground, will come out and they will see you, and it's Captain Berlacher, accompanied by Lieutenant Hightower, and Lieutenant Hightower will see you and come across and be like, Fabin is being evacuated. There's too many and not enough uptake for us to suitably defend the village. We've sent a runner to tell them to pack everything up and head to Lashkai. Your services are no longer required.
I ask the captain, do any of your men have happened to see a skyship?
There's no authorized sky ships in the area as far as I'm aware. If you happen to know otherwise, then please let me know. As you know, skyship travel within the Empire is heavily regulated.
Yeah, but this is one of the battalion ships. They usually don't care about that.
The battalions, you say, I mean, they usually file the correct paperwork.
Some of them do, yeah.
Well, if you happen to know of any illicit skyships, feel free to let us know. But as far as I'm aware, there is none in the registry.
Well, I don't think a stone pilot would randomly show up in a town like this.
A what?
One of the key crew members to operate a skyship.
Right, did you see a skyship?
I did not see a skyship, but I saw someone from the ship.
Right. Do you know where his ship is?
No, that's why I'm asking you.
Okay. So you saw someone who might have come from a skyship, but you don't know.
Most definitely come from a skyship, yes.
I see. Right. Well, this I can't be chasing down every possible he said, she said, unfortunately. If a skyship is in the area, it is not here with Imperial permission. They have not filed any paperwork, so feel free to direct us to them should you come across them. Otherwise, there's not very much we can do with limited resources, and as you can see, more pressing matters.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. But thank you.
No problem, citizen, and he'll continue along his way.
And then I return, look at the group. So out of all the guards here, none of them have seen it. Or maybe they just kept quiet about it.
Well, from what they said, I overheard some of the conversation, and if the paperwork's not been filed, they're not going to be advertising their presence, are they? So my suggestion stands: we follow up that lead, head to the north, see if we can find the skyship, and if not, then head south and see if we can help Fabin. Even if that Merc contract's expired, 4 of us didn't take it up, so we weren't going to get paid in the first place.
Yeah, let's head north and we should get going. We already wasted too much time.
We have to be careful though, because if Nigel is involved, he's slippery and he wouldn't blink an eye and chop our heads off.
Well, we'll just have to chop his off first, eh, Tazros? It's a bit better than a hand.
I mean, people tried.
Well,
Yes.
at this point, what other options have we?
I don't know, but you're just saying we need to be more careful.
I already said that before we saw the guard. Remember?
Well, we'll follow your lead then, Hazana and Tazros. You seem to know these individuals better than the rest of us. Lead on.
I started walking up across the bridge on the road that leads north.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
So you do so, and you head up past the square, past the Silent King, and up along past the Bellini farm on the left, where you were there before. once you get sort of like 100 feet out of town, like the farms are sort of like stretching back another like sort of 150 feet or so, until like the tree line where the trees have been cleared to let people like make their sort of small farms up to it, and then it's a forest. It's not particularly dense, like you can see like quite far through the trees, but not like unlimited view. And the road seems to head further north, sort of like with a gentle curve through the trees. It's probably sort of like early evening, so sun's still up, but it's low, so the trees are casting long shadows.
DM, how far are we from where they teleported? Are we outside the 500-foot boundary or not?
You're probably very close to the 500-foot boundary now.
Okay, so would we have been tracking this? Would we be aware of how far we've gone? Given
Yeah,
we
you can
knew
sort
the
of
spell's
like
range.
yeah, considering you knew roughly the range of the spell, or the maximum range of the spell, like I say, you would, and with Herzana's natural stuff, and Sir Tristan's knightly abilities and so on, you probably quite easily determine at which point you've travelled 500 feet plus or minus, you know.
Okay.
I will look if I can see any birds.
Yep, it's a forest.
And then I cast many GM's favorite spell, Speak with Animals.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the chirping and tweeting of birds of all sorts of stuff around the forest changes slowly from tweets and chirps to the cries of mating calls from birds. There's a male bird going, "Yo, anyone want to fuck?" And a bunch of females like, "Hell yeah, me," and so on.
And then I call out in bird. My lovely birds, I need your help.
There's a very surprised bird up in the branches nearby, and he's like, "Big person, speak bird."
I do.
Unusual, strange, danger? Question? Danger?
Well, I'm a warden of nature, and I am your friend.
Friend.
But I need your help.
Question?
Yeah. Have you seen 3 people pass by here recently?
Many people. Forest.
But did you see 3 traveling together? One of them wearing robes, and one of them in a special outfit made out of the skin of beasts.
Beast skin. Yes. Surprise. Appear.
Did they walk past here?
Yes. Away from migration. Direction of summer.
Okay, so this direction, and I point north.
Yes.
Have you or any of your fellow birds seen a giant machine float across the sky? Bigger than any bird you have ever seen.
Giant tree bird.
Made out of wood.
Yes, giant tree bird. Yes.
Did you see where it went?
Last dark. Away from here.
Also,
No trees. Large area. No trees.
also in the same direction.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Friend. And the bird will fly off, and you can hear him flying through the trees, being like, "Yo, bitches, where you at?"
Did he go within touch range?
He was on the trees the whole time, so on a branch, not within touch range.
Okay, otherwise I would have cast guidance on him to improve his mating calls.
No, he didn't come within touch range.
But I mentioned to the group that the bird has seen them travel up here. Bird has also seen the ship. So we are in the right direction.
Let's go.
So you keep traveling that direction. How are you traveling? What order?
As in what order of we walking?
Yep.
Order of march, yeah.
Like who's at the front, who's at the back?
Who's got good perception? Because
I
we're going
do.
to need you up front. Okay, so
Have
Harzana's best passive perception, but I have good rolls.
okay, well, how about stick you out front then, and Hazana behind you, because she's a magic user, needs to be protected. Tristan behind her, and then Taz. Then I'll bring up the rear.
Aye.
And how are you traveling? Are you
Good.
traveling quietly, normally, extra loud?
I'd like to think quietly, but open to offers.
I'm notorious for having disadvantage on stealth, so even my quietly is comparatively loud.
You never know. I'm going to click the group stealth button. Let's see if this works. You should have all got a pop-up asking you for group stealth or for stealth. Did it work?
No.
no.
Oh. Well, it doesn't work then. All roll stealth, please.
3, yeah.
Hazana, nice. Oh,
So-
those are some good rolls.
As a group,
Tristan.
you are relatively quiet as a group. So you head north. Sir Tristan's armor is sort of like clanking a bit, but with the help of like Harzana and Siege, as they move through the shadows, he's almost able to kind of compensate for the level of noise by just being a bit less visible and harder to see. After a while, you can see through the trees that the trees are ending. It looks like the start of a clearing, and Harzana, you're up at the front, and with your perception, you can see that there's figures in the clearing.
Like I raise my arm like, shh, someone here.
This is about like 120 feet ahead of you.
There's someone in the clearing.
We should have our sneaky people sneak up.
All right, I'll move around and see what I can find.
So you
So-
are you heading up by yourself?
Yeah, I'm gonna move up and try and see what I can see what's going on.
Okay, stealth roll from you.
Okay.
Nice.
Not too bad.
So you make it up through the trees, leaving your party behind you, and as you approach the tree line, and you get a better look. It's dark now. The sun has set. Like there's still some light in the sky, so you can still see, but it is still quite dim. But because of that, it's a little bit harder to make out what's going on. But there is definitely. So go on. Looks like you're trying to talk.
Sorry, give on. I've got dark light or dark vision.
So dark vision turns dim light into bright light.
Bright light
and
and darkness is dim light. Yeah, but I can't see
Yeah.
colours when it's actually
Exactly.
fully dark. Yeah.
yeah. So you can still see. It's not dark.
Okay.
It's just dim, and
Okay.
it's just hard to make out like in silhouettes and stuff in the sky just because of like what you're looking at. And what you are looking at is something you've never seen before. It's a ship, and it's sort of sitting there. It's got lines coming down to some of the trees at the side of the clearing, and what looks like a large anchor is into the ground as well. And the thing is, I mean, there's no other word for it. It's floating. It's sort of floating just above the ground, sort of like bobbing slightly in the wind. All the sails are away, and there's some masts that seem to be off the side that have been like raised up. They look like they could be lowered down, but they would hit the ground right now if they were to do so. And there's a number of people on the deck, and there's people kind of moving around, and there's a sort of a little crane that's over the side just now, and people are like winching up boxes.
Are these boxes fully sealed? You can't see the interior?
They're crates. You can't see from where you
Crates, okay. So is there any indication to how many crates they've got left to load?
Give me a perception to see if you can kind of make it out from across the clearing.
Perception, god damn it.
It's hard to tell.
Right, okay. Given there's not a lot I can do and there's a fair few figures from what I can tell, I'm going to move back towards the party and relate this. Roughly how big are the crates? Can I see that?
It's a little bit tricky to tell, but from based on the size of the kind of people around and stuff like that, and if you're asking would it be big enough to fit one of these things in it, then the answer would be probably yes.
Okay. So yeah, I'll move back towards the group and explain all that I found. Was I able to see the Melora's favour name on the ship at all? Would I have seen that? Or would it not have mattered?
You didn't see it from where you were, and
Okay.
you weren't particularly looking for it.
Gotcha. Okay, no worries. Hazana, I think we've found your ship, but I'm not particularly sure. I'm not familiar with it, but it was floating, so I'm guessing that's one of your sky ships. They're loading crates on currently. They're probably big enough to contain the demons. I can't see how many they've got left. There's quite a lot of them. I don't know what to do at this point. I'm figuring they're going to leave fairly soon, especially if they're not meant to be here. What are your thoughts?
Wait, were they putting the crates on or off the ship?
As far as I could tell, onto the ship, but it's fairly dark. I couldn't see particularly well.
Okay.
Yes, they are buying the ships. Sorry, they're buying the creatures from him.
What on earth could they want with those bloody things?
Well, that's one thing that drives Lord Battalion. It's profit.
Yeah, but who on earth's going to buy those monstrosities? Okay, right, so we've got a decision to make. I don't think trying to intervene and disrupt what they're doing will be a particularly good idea, because I don't want those demons getting loose. But the alternative is to go and inform the Imperial Guard, but by the time they get here, this thing's going to be gone. I don't know what to do, guys. I'd like some input.
Well, there's one thing we can do. A horrible thing.
What's that then?
If the stone pilot is not ready to keep the levitation stone in control, there's a chance they lose control of it if we cut the ropes. So we'll have to come out quickly, cut the ropes, and as the ship ascends, hope that it ascends too fast for them to gain control of it.
What happens if the sky pilot's on board and manages to contain control of it?
Then the ship stays in place and they can land it, and then they'll come after us.
What if that guy doesn't show up at all?
Well, chances are that he's already on the ship.
Yeah, they teleported here quite a while ago, so they're going to be...
What if he disappears?
You're talking about removing him from the situation.
I'm just saying, people disappear from time to time.
Well, I do not really think we have the capabilities to assassinate him.
Well, what do you want to do then, folks? Do you want to try and cut the ropes, or do we leave?
What if we just get the guards and bring the guards? Because, right?
I mean, we can try, but I can't imagine them getting here in time. You know how slow they are.
Yeah.
Feeling the same. They're preparing to take off, and as soon as the sun sets, they'll be off again.
Well, if we attack in the dark, Sir Tristan here is going to be at disadvantage, not be able to see what's going on. The rest of us, I'd imagine, will do fairly alright, but this could be an interesting endeavour. Or we would no idea how many of them there are.
No.
So, do you want to go and attack the ropes, Hazana, or not?
Well, it's risky.
Aye,
We're
but
going to
so's
build the crew on the ship when we do it.
yeah, so's letting those demons get away.
But
Taz, no, Tristan, thoughts?
I say we cut the ropes and don't let them hope they escape and crash. Or hope they don't escape and that they crash instead.
I think I'm with Snow on this one.
like even if they regain control, they're going to be above the horizon when the sun is still up, so someone is going to see them.
That's a fair point.
So
So
what are we
Tristan,
gonna do?
well, Snow and I want to cut the ropes. I think Hazan wants to do the same, but we need to do this as a group or not at all.
I mean, what we're waiting for, and I will start walking towards.
Wait,
A little bit of subtlety, Taz. A little bit of subtlety here. We can't rush in.
we
I
need.
cannot hear you. I'm walking.
I fucking hate barbarians.
Tristan, what do you think?
You're naturally smart for a dwarf.
We need to be really fast.
Realistically, I can't get that much closer, and I also can't see in the dark. So
It's not dark enough to be able to see, like
it's
have
so
proper seeing
dark
yet.
that I can't start chopping stuff.
No, you. It's like being outside having a barbecue and the sun's gone down. You can still see, you know.
Fair. Like still. make
Right,
that-
okay. So I'm thinking that we try and get as close as we can, being quiet. We'll aim and try and take out the ropes quietly. If we can't do that, then we'll go in and, Taz can swing his axe at as many ropes as he can find. Agreed?
Yeah. As soon as we discover it, we need to cut as many as we can and then get off.
Okay.
So,
So-
when you were in the clearing, you or at the edge of the clearing, you would have seen that there was 2 heavy ropes coming off the stern, and 1 heavy rope coming off the bow. So it seemed to be anchored in 3 points.
Right, okay. So I noticed there were 3 ropes. Do you reckon we can take... Well, you, Sir Tristan and Hazard, you know more about these skyships than anyone. Is 1 enough to destabilize it, or we need to go and take out all 3?
Well, 2 of them should be enough. Then it will float and flip and be utter chaos.
Okay, so we need to take out 2 out of 3. So, in that case then, I'm going to try and stealth up and take 1 out. Have you got anything you can use to assist with my stealth?
Yes, the stars can guide you.
Okay, well if the stars could guide me, I'd be grateful. And then if Sir Tristan and Taz try and take 1 each, given their swingy, and see what happens, and then Hazani can hold back with Snow as support.
We can do that.
Okay, well let's get some star blessings and then move up.
I cast guidance on the search.
Cool.
Okay. Everyone who's sneaking up, give me a stealth roll, please.
So much stealth.
Oh no.
Was I sneaking up?
I thought we all were.
Well, I thought me and the dwarf were going to charge the other 2 ropes.
Yeah, I
after
was
you
kind of
guys.
walking already towards the ship anyway, so.
Yeah, but we needed seats to get in position first.
So yeah, we need the first rope to get cut, and then we'll charge. I'm going to explain this to him in Dwarvish because it stands a better chance of going in.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
listening. You're speaking in
And,
Dwarvish.
Yeah, I
Oh,
speak
yes.
Dwarvish. When the first rope is cut, we charge the other 2 ropes.
So you can quite easily get within like your movement's distance of the ropes while remaining hidden in the forest, without needing to do any rolls.
Oh.
So the Sir Tristan and Tazros, if you're positioning near those 2 ropes at the back, and Siege, you're sneaking right up to the one at the front. Is that correct?
Yes, please.
Okay, so with your 17,
This is
you make
guidance
it.
for him.
Okay, with the 20, you definitely make it. So you're up to this rope, and it's about like 2-3 inches thick, and it's wrapped around a tree. There's a sort of like a leather like almost collar on the rope, which has been placed between the tree bark and the rope itself to kind of give it a bit more grip. And then the other side it's tied on.
Okay, so although it's a finesse weapon, I'm going to just try and saw through it as rapidly as I can with my rapier.
So if you're doing it behind the tree, you can. It'll take you. When you start to do it, probably about 30 seconds to cut through all the way, and you can see like fibers kind of like splitting as you're like cutting like that.
Okay. And I'm gonna be wary of it snapping and just stand by to jump back as fast as I can in case it snaps. So I've seen that kind of thing happen on the farm with large animals and restraint ropes.
Yeah. So as the ship is sort of like bobbing slightly in the wind, yeah, you can feel the rope kind of going like taut slightly, and then relaxing under your sword as it's sort of gently tugging on it like a boat sitting in a dock, just drifting in the waves. And every time as you're sort of cutting through it, it pulls taut. It like goes like more burst off, and you can see them sort of like unraveling a bit as you continue to saw with the blade of your scimitar through this thick rope, and it sort of starts to split faster until it looks like it's almost like you can hear the tearing sound of a rope that's past its point of no return as it starts to, and your sword goes right through it, and the thing goes ping and like disappears off around the other side of the tree. And other people who are watching and siege from the trees, you see that the skyship immediately starts to sort of like its bow starts to rise up a little bit and starts to list, and you hear someone on board shout in surprise.
And I tell the group, now!
Yep. And we charge. I'm going to shout charge in Dwarvish.
So you both run forward and you're both cutting your ropes, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You both run up and you swing your sword. Tazwas swings his axe. It
I
takes
follow at use produce flame to burn the rope where they hit it.
nice. It takes first hit like goes splats a bunch of it, especially gets under more tension because it's pulling slightly, and then with Hosanna's flame, it starts to crumble, and the second one knocks it as well. Very nice. And then just give me a damage roll for you, Tazros. Yeah, so Tazros just cleaves through it in one go, like straight into the tree, dunk, like that, and both those ropes go, and then you see the ship which was listing up like that, the rear rises up fast as well, and there's people running around and shouting, and one of the crates which was like swinging on the rope as it was on the crane, you can see like the person, like they were using ropes on the ground to kind of like control it, and with the ship listing, people let go, the thing slams off the side of the ship, it bursts open, and stuff which you can't see from where you are falls to the ground, as you hear lots of shouting and yelling, and this ship starts to rise up towards the sky, and a number of figures are still on the ground, and you hear shouting and screaming, and that is where we will leave it.
Nice.
Cliffhanger, no!
Like
we,
before
we,
we
we
go
did something as a group, guys. Finally.
Yay!
Before we end, Hasana is going to flip the bird at the ship and then yell, "Fuck you, Italian!"
Nice.
Very nice. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I've been Ethica Hawk. I will still be Ethica Hawk after this, but for the entirety of the stream, I've definitely been Ethica Hawk. I've been joined by Discreet Chocolate Rain, Geeky Decorum, Starmiz, and Diagon. We have been playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition in New Eden, and we will see you hopefully next time.